Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. This is a little bit of an emergency coverage. Was not expecting to go live today for severe weather, but we've had a supercell here in Northeast Indiana that has been producing a tornado for over an hour now, but it hasn't been on the ground the entire time. It's just a supercell that's been capable of a tornado for a long time. Did produce one already back over near Topeka in Indiana. This is going to be approaching the Michigan border, and it is once again on the ground. So this is again on the ground, again going towards areas near the Mongo and Plateau area, eventually going towards Greenfield Mills in Northeast Indiana near Interstate 8090. So if you are in this warning, definitely seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. Again, that is the area of rotation that we are currently looking at. Correlation coefficient still indicates that we have debris that is being lofted up into the atmosphere, whether that's trees, parts of buildings, whatever it might be, is currently going to the northeast in the direction of Mongo. And here's the latest CC scan. We still have a tornado in progress, so this is definitely still on the ground. Again, moving to the northeast, going in the direction of Mongo and eventually going towards Orland. So again, if you are in this pink polygon, if you're in the warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. On the flip side of things, back down to the south, we just got a new tornado warning. This is going to be back over in southern Kentucky. That is a pretty decent area of rotation. It's going to be a little bit more elevated near the Watauga area. So if you are, in this part of Kentucky going towards Monticello, make sure that you are also getting to your safe place, as that storm is definitely starting to rotate quite a bit, and that is currently moving to the east-northeast towards Highway 90. All right, so that's the latest on those two tornado warnings. We have a bunch of severe thunderstorm warnings across the board as well. Currently sitting at 11 severe thunderstorm warnings. The majority of them range from Alabama and Mississippi back into Ohio, but most of them right now in Tennessee and Kentucky right now.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
So they've gone ahead and issued a new tornado warning, CWA region. That's why we do have a new tornado warning, though, for those in Monticello. If you are in this pink polygon, make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and interior room of your home or building. This rotation right here, just west of Monticello, that is currently moving to the east-northeast. And so, again, that is a pretty strong area of rotation in the mid-levels. Again, we don't have a close-by radar site, so near the ground, it's harder to tell. But we definitely have rotation here. This is, again, currently moving to the east-northeast. So make sure that you are seeking shelter if you are in this warning. We're going to go back up to Indiana, and we're going to go and see what this one's looking like right now. So we still have a tornado on the ground near Plateau, Indiana, moving towards Mongo. So we're going to continue to see what happens here over the next few minutes, but tornado still on the ground in Indiana. It doesn't look like notifications got sent out for this live stream, so I'm going to see if I can gotta kind of multitask here. I'm posting this to Facebook and YouTube just to make sure people know that we're live. Notifications did not get sent out. We've had 2 videos today, and we had a live stream last night, and I think YouTube has a cap on notifications. So if you know any friends or family, definitely let them know that there's obviously a tornado here in Northeast Indiana, but we also have the tornado warning in southern Kentucky. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. But this is definitely still on the ground. We still have a debris signature going towards Mongo. Honestly, if this lifts again, we could see it redevelop and produce another tornado as it does go into like southern Michigan. We do have a warm frontal boundary in this area that's elevating the shear. And so that's why right now we have this supercell that's capable of a tornado. We could see another supercell somewhere down here try to develop, maybe in Northeast Indiana, and maybe produce a tornado. But again, it's a little bit more uncertain. This one's been the most favorable thus far. And yeah, I mean, we still got a tornado on the ground. So again, still a tornado in progress heading towards Mongo, Indiana. Still a deep CC drop right now moving to the northeast. Wow, that's actually gotten deeper over the last couple scans. This has been on the ground for about 8 minutes now. So this has been on the ground for several minutes. It has already had a history of producing, again, a tornado. So this isn't like the first time it's produced one. But still moving to the northeast. Tornado would be embedded right in here, just to the northeast of Plato. Going towards State Route 120, Orland, Greenfield Mills, Interstate 8090 will be in the track of this tornado. Wow. I am retweeting a video of the tornado on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. We do have at least a couple of videos on Twitter of tornadoes in Indiana. So this is, again, the second one that we've had, which is still, again, currently in progress. It's still a deep debris signature moving towards Mongo, and it'll eventually go towards Greenfield Mills. I'm going to go back down to Kentucky and check in on this one. Looks like it's a little bit broader on the latest scan near Watauga. So this tornado warning still ongoing, but rotation is a little bit broader on the latest scan. They have gone ahead and issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, which also includes the Monticello area. And that is currently moving east-northeast. We're going to check in on some of these other storms, too. I think the majority of every other storm that we have is hail and wind. The only two that are really tornadic is this one right now in southern Kentucky, and then the one back over in northeast Indiana. And this one in northern Kentucky doesn't look that concerning either. Back over in Tennessee, we do have some storms that are mostly wind producers. This is a live shot on the Radar Omega app out of Gainesboro, Tennessee. Wind is picking up here. This is a severe warned storm, and rain is really heavy. Like you can barely see beyond this distance here. There's trees and possibly, you know, some hills back there. Can't even see it. Rain is really falling here. Very low visibility. This is a quick moving line of storms here in Tennessee right now. That's near Gainesboro. Here's a more zoomed out look. This is going to be just a little bit further to the east. We actually have a shelf cloud right now. So pretty impressive structure there. Again, back over in Tennessee. How's it going, Matt? Welcome back. Low top supercells. I wouldn't say these are low topped. The ones in Indiana are more low top, though. These ones are definitely more low topped. The latest tornado report that we had, spotters report a tornado hit structures back over in Oliver Lake, Indiana. Again, this has been going for a while. We were going to go live when it first dropped on the ground, but we released a video, and I also didn't have anything set up for this live stream today. And it started at 3:16. I mean, we've had tornadoes ongoing with this storm for over an hour now. It's been a long-tracked storm that's been producing tornadoes, and it looks like we still have a tornado on the ground. I mean, this thing's still going. Still got a debris signature moving right over State Route 3 in Indiana. I'm going to see if we have any live cams in this area. We do have a little database of live cameras. We'll see if we have anything in this area. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. It's been going on for a while now. The next camera that we're going to have is going to be up near York. So if it makes it up closer to York, Indiana, which I don't know if this storm will, but we might have another storm that does so, we'll have a live camera from there. We need the bench. Hey, again, I'll let you guys know. I don't know if we're gonna get the bench. We should know by tomorrow if we're gonna have a bench cam, though. I'm pretty sure they're gonna set up the cameras tomorrow. I could be wrong for Hurricane Helene, or upcoming Hurricane Helene. Broad rotation near Dayton, Ohio. There was a tornado warning near Dayton, Ohio, earlier, and that storm actually has been coming together again. So there is a possibility that this tries to also go tornadic. Approaching Dayton. Let's check out the other close range radar. Shows it really nothing on that one. We do have a few live cameras, but these are all further to the south of this storm. This is one of them back over in Warren County. This one's also back in Warren County. Not really close enough to the storm, but this one also might go tornadic. I mean, we do have a little bit of broad circulation developing. A little bit of a hook. Might try to do something as that moves east. That is a definitely pretty classic looking kind of supercell. It's not really rotating a whole lot right now. Definitely low topped. Cloud top's only at 35,000 feet. These are not tall thunderstorms out here today in Ohio or Indiana. Most people's focuses have obviously been on Tropical Storm Helene or Hurricane Helene, so you know, severe weather like this is not really being chased a whole lot. There are a few storm chasers out there, but I don't think any of them are live. Thank you, Jocelyn, for the $4.99 super chat. Happy birthday. Let's get some happy birthdays in the chat for Jocelyn. Do appreciate you tuning in. I actually forgot to change this. It's supposed to be tornado on the ground. All right, we'll have another radar scan in a moment, and we'll see what this looks like. Again, a very low-top supercell up here in northeast Indiana. Tornado, if it is still on the ground, is going to be approaching the south side of Mongo, Indiana. So if you are in this warning, continue to stay in your safe place. My thumbnail correct? Yeah, it is. All right. I have a thumbnail that I had to rush as well. There's a lot of rushing that went into today's stream. We had a very abrupt start to the stream. It doesn't look like we have at least from what we're seeing on the correlation coefficient, if there is still a tornado, it's definitely going to be on the smaller side of things. So just south of Mongo. Looks like that may have lifted. Let's go back down to Dayton. And we're also going to go back to the Kentucky tornado warning. This is the velocities as of 6 minutes ago. This is the latest scan. Yeah, the velocity is really weak. They are not like I would say right now, this is not like an imminent tornado threat for Dayton. Just, I would say, weather aware here. Might see a little bit of broad circulation. Wouldn't rule out like a little funnel cloud or something like that. But I'm not sure that this is really going to be imminent here back over near Trotwood in southwest Ohio. Let's go back to Kentucky. Still got that tornado warning near Monticello, which that's been broadening quite a bit. This one might honestly be pretty close to... I wouldn't say it's done, but I just think overall it's very broad circulation right now. But again, our radar coverage in this area, very sparse. Rotation aloft still looks kind of impressive. We do have a camera in Jamestown, but that doesn't look north. Also, there was one in Clay County. We have a lot of live cameras on the Radar Omega app down here in Tennessee and Kentucky, just none of them really looking at that storm. One other interesting thing I've been noticing on this line that's moving right now through east central Tennessee, just to the east of Nashville, I've had a little bit of maybe like trying to form maybe like a little hookup here on the northern side of this cluster. I wouldn't rule out like some sort of brief tornado with that, but I think it's a little bit of a stretch. This right now is producing 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Wow, this is live. Look at this. You can't even see the camera. Look at the trees. What is happening here? The winds might even be stronger than 60 miles per hour. This camera is shaking like crazy in northeast Tennessee. This is back over in Gainesboro, Tennessee. I think that's much more than 60 miles per hour, unless this camera is literally... Oh, there's leaves flying across the screen. This is serious downburst winds right now in Tennessee. Sheesh. Yeah, that's got to be more than 60. Now that's max velocity. Yeah, that right there is max velocity. Thank you, James, for the $3 Venmo. Is Indianapolis going to be okay? Yeah, Indianapolis will be fine. Yeah, you're kind of behind the storm activity. Well, we're going to have to keep a close eye on this. We got another camera coming up in Dodson Branch. Look at this mean-looking line of storms here in Tennessee. That wind was crazy, though. Got a biker out there, too, on the bottom of your screen. I don't know if they know that storm's coming. We got somebody on a bike out here. But this is what we were just looking at. This is the outside. That's the shelf cloud. That was aggressive. Like, that's like in the middle of this. Well, velocities on radar currently showing near 60. I don't know if that was 60, though. That felt stronger than that. This is still live inside of this storm. It's still pretty windy right now. Dude is just casually riding a bike. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's still pretty windy here. It's not as windy as before. I think the worst of it just happened. We still got leaves flying across the screen, which is pretty typical for wind. Still windy. We're going to go back to that other camera. Let's check out Dodson Branch. Again, these are the Radar Omega cameras across Tennessee. Look at that shelf cloud rolling in right now. This is a really impressive view right here of that shelf cloud. This is definitely more of a wind threat here in Tennessee, but nonetheless, it's... Max felt the wind from his studio. I guess, man. Felt pretty windy here with what we just saw.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Shelf clouds rolling in pretty quickly. Do have a new tornado warning. That is going to be for LaGrange, Steuben counties in Indiana, and also for Branch County in Michigan. This is back down to a radar-indicated area of rotation. This storm has a history of producing tornadoes at this point, so if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building as this continues to move northeast. It will be going in the direction of Bethel, Kinderhook, and Interstate 69 in southern Michigan eventually. Again, it's not there quite yet, but it will be going in that direction, so just be weather aware if you're in those areas. Again, not seeing anything on the ground anymore. We don't have a debris signature that's evident with this storm, or maybe we have a little CC drop on like the south. We might actually still have something here. Let me go back to the velocities. It's very broad. It's much broader circulation than before. It might just be some sort of like contamination, but the original tornado that we had looked much darker blue. This is what we had before. So I'm not seeing nearly as much. But again, if you are in the warning, seek shelter as that continues to move to the northeast. Across the board, though, everything else across Indiana and Ohio looks relatively tame. I would say the only storm that we're really still keeping a close eye on in Ohio would be the one near Dayton, but that looks more like a wind threat, and that's not even severe. So I'm not super duper concerned about that storm, in my opinion. We do have a couple others back up in northwest Ohio, too. Again, really anything that can grow in size near that warm frontal boundary up here in Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan could produce a tornado. So that's one localized area that we are watching closely for that tornado threat. Let's go back to that shelf cloud. We're going to see what this looks like now. Look at that shelf cloud rolling in rapidly. We are going to see the wind probably pick up heavily here in Tennessee in a few minutes with what we just saw. So we're definitely going to keep a very close eye on this camera. Let me go back to velocities. Yeah, that wind is coming in quick for Dodson Branch, Tennessee. It's currently warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds, but honestly, I still think it's higher than that. So we're going to see what it looks like here. You're live today? I mean, I was going to be live tonight for update on Tropical Storm Helene. I still will probably, but yeah, this kind of happened out of nowhere. I didn't really think we were going to go live, and I would have been live an hour ago if I, had graphics set up for today's live stream. We just didn't have anything set up. Because there was a tornado on the ground in Indiana, and I would have gone live for that 100%. We had a big debris signature on radar. But yeah, I mean, we'll probably be live again tonight. It's a busy time of the year. Thank you, James, for the 99-cent super chat. Appreciate that. Where's Croft? He's preparing for Helene. I don't blame him either. There aren't very many chasers that even thought about chasing this, to be honest. I mean, everybody was pretty... basically, even me, I was just thinking about, Helene. Again, this is live in Tennessee. This is a severe storm rolling in. We're going to go back to that camera in a moment. Also got storms that are outflow driven back down in Alabama. That should be mostly just wind. Pretty dark skies down there in Tennessee. Or sorry, not Tennessee, Alabama. Let's go back to the tornado warning. They have gone ahead and let the other tornado warning that was confirmed expire. The new tornado warning still includes Orland in northeast Indiana and as well as back into southern Michigan. So, and again, we still have one in Kentucky. We still got 2 tornado warnings right now across the board. But if we have a tornado that drops, it's going to be back down near Mongo, moving towards Orland in Interstate 8090. Our next camera coming up will probably end up being in southern Michigan. So I'm going to double check and see if we have anything there ahead of time. This is going to be eventually moving towards Coldwater and Algansea. The next camera that we're going to have coming up will be back down in... or back up in near Coldwater. So we'll see if we have any view there. See what the velocity show on this next scan here. But again, this storm has a history of producing tornadoes. We've had already 2 with it. We had the one back, or we at least had 2, possibly 3 different ones. We had one back over east of Syracuse, one just to the west of Walcottville, and then the other one just southeast of LaGrange. This is the one that we went live for. And so I'm not seeing any debris signature. This right here is just clear air contamination, so that's not a tornado. That right there is where we're looking for that potential. Velocities have really broadened, though, so not sure if it's going to recycle, but we'll continue to keep a close eye on that. And then back over near Dayton, Ohio. We're going to see what the velocities are showing, but looks like it's still going to be more of a gusty wind threat, not really rotating a whole lot. That's on track for Springfield, Ohio, so if you're in those areas, just stay weather aware. Definitely has a potential for a tornado. I just think it's a low chance until it actually, if it organizes more or, somehow gets a little bit more wind shear. It's not really in the best environment right now. And then the tornado warning in Kentucky, still broad circulation. It looks more like a wind threat to me. I don't think they're going to continue this tornado warning in Kentucky, but again, if anything changes, we'll let you know. Severe thunderstorm warning overlaps the tornado warning. All right, back into Tennessee. This is a live shot in that severe storm that we were just looking at. We're going to stay here for a few minutes because I think the wind is really about to pick up here. So what we're seeing right now, the wind's picking up, but this is the outflow boundary winds. We might see some really strong downbursts inside of this storm here in a minute. So we are going to stay here and see what happens. It's going to get pretty crazy, I think, pretty quickly. And that's if the camera doesn't lose power. All right. Oh. Stay on. Don't lose power. Oh, man, it might be losing power. I don't know. Let's go back. That camera may have literally just gone out. We have another one just to the south, though. Wow, look at this. Look at this view. It's kind of crazy. This looks a little ominous. They did just issue a new severe thunderstorm warning on this storm for 60-mile-per-hour winds near Livingston. I think that camera literally just went out. How'd the other camera stay online? Oh, maybe it's coming back. There we go. All right, we got it back. Just going a little in and out right now. Might be losing signal or something from the cloud cover or something too. I'm not sure if that's a thing with these cameras. Hope the dude's bike is alright. Hopefully they got to their home or wherever they might be living. I don't know. I'm not sure what's really in this area. This is again in Dodson Branch, Tennessee. I'm not sure how populated this area is. Yeah, hopefully they got to wherever they had to go. Hey Max, would you go bald? No. How's the weather for Missouri? Missouri shouldn't be too bad. We actually have a slight risk of severe weather back over in Oklahoma today. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a slight risk in like central Oklahoma. A couple supercells will probably develop here in the next couple hours. I'm not sure if we'll be live for that, but we might, depending on what happens there. I need to look at the radar here. See when they're supposed to initiate. I'm not sure what time they were supposed to initiate today. Yeah, they're supposed to get going around like 6 or 7, so it might be a little bit. Some big hailstorms and windstorms will be possible, though, there. I mean, it should be a pretty isolated threat, but just for reference, this is what it would basically look like around 7 o'clock or so. A couple of supercells back over near Oklahoma City, kind of going down to the south and east. So, I don't really expect much of a tornado threat there, but hail and wind will be possible. And this is live in Dodson Branch, Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warning here for 60-mile-per-hour winds. We are going to see, again, if this wind is stronger inside of the storm, because the last time we were inside of the storm on this, it was really windy. Now, granted, the wind might just be peaking on the north side of the storm, so it might be more up in here, but we're going to probably see that here in a minute or two, if it's really going to get crazy or not. It was pretty crazy a few minutes ago on the other camera, so... There's right now no tornado on the ground. No, we did have one, but from what we know, we don't have anything on the ground right now. If that does change, we will let you know. Actually, I'm just going to go back up and check this real quick. I got broad circulation right now near Orland. So again, nothing on the ground right now. That's going towards Glede and eventually Kinderhook. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's imminent right now. I mean, again, it's just broad, weak circulation. We had a much better looking storm before. We do have a lot of storms, though, starting to fire up right now in northwest Ohio. I would be watching this area closely for maybe another isolated tornado or two. We don't have really great radar coverage here, but it does appear as if we have a couple of storms maybe trying to form little mesos on them. Like this one, we got a couple near like Continental, kind of in northwest Ohio. The ones in southwest Ohio and western Ohio did not look nearly as impressive. So we got some broad circulation near Vandalia and north of Dayton, but that storm looks like it's kind of dying out too. Actually got Brandon Kopic that's live on Radar Omega. I'm not sure if we're going to see anything from him. I'll let you know if we see anything. He is live though, so if we do see anything, I'll definitely keep a close eye on him. All right, let me go back down to Kentucky. Tornado warning is going to be let to expire for sure. Let's go back to that camera and see if anything's happening. Yeah, wind's picking up here. Still not really too crazy, though. I think we're just on the south side of where that downburst was in Tennessee. Thank you, Kim, for the $5 super chat. How's St. Croix, Indiana looking? Let me find where that is. Probably not going to see much more, honestly, down there. I mean, just isolated.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Just isolated, I mean, like, rain. I don't really expect any severe weather there. Like, you're kind of already done. Yeah, I mean, there's not much there. Everything, mostly, that's going to happen is to your east. We do have a new tornado warning. So this one's actually going to continue. We do have a new tornado warning in Kentucky. That's going to be for those near Somerset. Monticello is also included in this, near Route 27 and Highway 90. So if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. So that's another brand new tornado warning. Again, rotation. I mean, again, we're in between like 3 different radar sites, so we don't really have a great view of this, but rotation's going to be more than likely somewhere in here. It's a pretty large area, but just over this general area, we'll have the potential for an isolated tornado. That's going to be going towards Kidder and Blue John. All right, let's, yeah, so the worst of the wind, it looks like, just missed the Dodson branch live camera. That's why the wind isn't too crazy right now. So, yeah, the wind that we're seeing out of this outflow-driven activity is upwards of 70 miles per hour, though, so. And this is the live camera that we were just looking at a few minutes ago. If you've been here for like 20 minutes or even 10 minutes, you probably saw this. This is the camera that we originally had a view on when the wind was going crazy in Tennessee. Again, there's nothing really to see other than the trees, and then we also got, looks like, some fog. But aside from that, I mean, it looks pretty calm now there. So definitely calmed down quite a bit. It's like the wind's also picking up back over in Putnam. The outflow boundary goes really far down to the south, but we don't really have any storms that are further down to the south. We'll probably see a little like roll kind of looking cloud, but yeah, further down to the south, not looking too crazy. Still got some storms also south of Nashville. None of those severe right now. The severe thunderstorm watch does go for 2 hours longer. So again, if you are anywhere in the severe thunderstorm watch, just continue to stay weather aware until approximately.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
So we have a tornado on the ground again in northeast Indiana. So if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. This is a weather spotters confirmed tornado back over in 10 miles south of Bronson, 12 miles northwest of Angola in Indiana. So this is going to be approaching Orland. Tornado would be located right about here, moving to the northeast, and it's going to be going into southern Michigan. So it's going to be going in the direction of Glede and Kinderhook, and as well as Bethel. This is now at least the 3rd tornado that this supercell has produced, which is kind of crazy for an event like today. At least the 3rd. It might be the 4th, though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the other one was a different tornado, but we've had already 3 different tornadoes, or at least 3 different reports, but probably 3 different tornadoes here out of just this supercell, and this would be the 4th now back over near Orland. Velocities do not look overly impressive. I mean, they are really weak, but the debris we don't have any debris signature either, so nothing really evident here. But again, it has been just reported by weather spotters. So if you are in Orland, Interstate 80-90, just to the north there into southern Michigan, make sure that you are in your safe place.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We now have another tornado warning. This one is on a storm that we were just talking about a few minutes ago. We've had some broad circulation in northwest Ohio, and we now have a new tornado warning southeast of Defiance. This is near the New Bavaria area south of Holgate. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. If you're in a mobile home, you need to go to a sturdy structure. Going to see if we have any cameras in this area either. Okay, our next cameras in this area will be back up near the interstate. But again, if you are in this warning, seek shelter. Broad circulation, it is a growing mesocyclone that we have there. That storm's been growing in size quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these storms down here too does something like that. And we are getting warnings literally up the wazoo. We keep getting new severe thunderstorm warnings. So you're going to keep seeing warnings basically getting issued left and right now. We got a new warning. We got 4 new warnings in the last like 40 seconds. We got 2 new ones in Kentucky, and then we got another one in Virginia, Tennessee, somewhere near the border there. So again, all those for wind and hail. So things are definitely still going. But again, if you're just tuning in, we do have now another observed tornado right along the Indiana and Michigan border. That tornado will be approaching Orland in Indiana, and then eventually moving into southern Michigan. So if you are in this area, make sure that you are, again, getting to your safe place. How's it going, Storm Media? Are you Garrett or are you DL? I can never tell. How's it going, Saturn? I mean, honestly, in Indiana, the only areas that I'm really concerned about would be basically anywhere in here. Like, this is like the main area that I'm concerned about right now. Maybe a little bit further north. But basically, where the warm frontal boundary is, that's kind of where we have more shear available. So that's where we'll have a better shot of a couple of tornadoes this afternoon. They haven't issued any tornado watch or anything like that. I know there was like a 20% chance of there being a watch. So, but they never actually ended up issuing a watch for this area. Even though this storm's produced 4 separate tornadoes now, which is crazy. Not doing too shabby, not doing too shabby. It's been interesting. I was going to be, literally, I would have been live like an hour ago. And I went live 30 minutes ago. I've been live like an hour ago, but this like storm, I had to basically make graphics for the stream, and I was not ready for this. So, good times. Thank you, James, for the $2 Venmo. Thank you also, Spite for the $5 super chat. How's South Bend, Indiana looking? I don't think South Bend's going to see much other than rain. Thank you, Hop, for the becoming a 2-month member. Thank you, Brandon, for becoming a 3-month member. Welcome back. Today should have been a 10% hatched risk. I just don't think so. What's interesting, though... All right, so if you guys are wondering about today's outlook, this is one of the reasons I didn't go live today, or I wasn't planning on going live. I'm obviously live now. But we have a large slight risk, essentially, across, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, and also back into West Virginia, right? But the tornado risk outline today, it's a little bit different now, but earlier today, it was basically only this area. So I wasn't really planning on going live unless something really, urgently happened. I could probably whip up some graphics or whatever. The tornado threat looks like a turtle now. I mean, it literally looks like a turtle. So it's a very interesting shape, but we have a low-end tornado risk anywhere basically from Michigan all the way back into North Carolina. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, I had no plans of going live today at all for tornadoes, and here we are. But I'd much rather be live for this than Helene, to be honest. I'm not sure how excited I am for 12-hour coverage or whatever it might be on Thursday. I can't believe I missed this setup. Yeah, Connor Croft decided to sit home. He didn't want to chase today. It's kind of crazy. Let's get some L's in the chat for Connor. Thank you, Joe, for the super chat. Thank you, Caleb, for the super chat. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I would have... I mean, if I was a chaser, I would have never chased this. Like, this did not look promising whatsoever for anything. I don't blame anybody that didn't chase. I mean, Brandon Kopic, apparently, like, 10 minutes from his house, he had a tornado warning earlier today. He was pretty mad that he didn't chase it. So... And he's now going down to Helene, so... I've never seen such a big L spam in my chat before. That's kind of crazy. Apparently, this is still on the ground again. We've had a confirmation again. I'm not seeing any debris signature anymore. But again, if you are anywhere in the tornado warning, continue to stay in your safe place. Thank you, Kirby, for the super chat. L spam is still going. I'm gonna see if we have any reports on Twitter here. By the way, we do have videos of videos of the tornado from earlier in Indiana on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX if you want to check them out. The tornado that we had actually looked pretty strong back over near CR 300 if you are familiar with the area. Let me go back down to... Alright, we don't need any more L's. We're good on the L's. Let me go back down here to Tennessee again. Tennessee's been pretty interesting. We've had some interesting wind here over the last 30 minutes. This one severe storm that's outflow driven has been producing some damaging winds up to 60. Right now I'm near Rickman, Tennessee. Getting very ominous here. Wind is starting to pick up on the radar Omega cyclone port. I am actually so pissed. So unfortunate. I don't know, man. Get good, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Thank you, Luke, for the $9.99 super chat. Knoxville? I don't know what state you're talking about. You're talking about Knoxville, Tennessee? Should be mostly just wind. Thank you, Dylan, also for the Venmo. I don't know what I'm doing for Helene yet, to be honest. I have a risk of power outages on day of landfall, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be in the studio for landfall or if I'm going to be going somewhere else. So I'm not sure what the plan is currently. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I need some advice. So I don't know. I don't know if we're staying in the studio. I'd much rather stay in the studio, but if we lose power like near landfall, I would be so mad. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of on the fence right now about it. So not entirely sure. Just stream from Connor's car. Absolutely. Yeah, let me jump into his car real quick. We'll set up the computer in his car. In his rental. Still have a tornado warning in northwest Ohio near Holgate. Again, that's currently moving east-northeast. Deschler, we do have a little bit of rotation on that storm, it looks like, maybe. Trying to come together. You're in a bit of a radar hole, but again, this area in northwest Ohio still has a potential for a tornado or two, especially if any storms are able to organize as they continue to move northeast. And back over near Orland, we still have broad circulation. Again, reportedly a tornado on the ground a few minutes ago from weather spotters, so not seeing anything on radar, though, that's that convincing right now. It looks like it's kind of dying out. Deschler has a virtual rail fan. Thank you. I forgot about that. Where is Deschler? I wish I had these things organized, because they're not right now, which is kind of annoying. Oh, I do actually have the Deschler camera. It's just raining in Deschler right now. Let me pull it up here. Has DL decided if he's going to Florida, by the way, Garrett? Do you know? Or are you going? I'm just curious. I haven't heard anything about that. Seems like it's really on the fence. Where is this camera? Okay, I don't know where this camera is. I'm just going to leave it on this. It's alright. Deschler's just raining. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Thank you, Chris, for the $5 super chat. My recommendation would be to evacuate to Culver's and use their Wi-Fi for the Helene stream. Alright, thank you, Kyle, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Thank you to Luke for the $19.99 super chat. I'm going to talk more about the hurricane in our stream tonight. Again, this is not the hurricane stream. This was not an expected stream today. So I'm going to talk more about that tonight. So if you have questions, definitely tune in then. Thank you, Ethan, for the super chat. Has anyone ever told you that you look like Max Velocity? No, I've actually never been told that. Not gonna lie. Every time I get recognized, I swear, like, there's only been like 2 times I've been recognized that somebody's actually been like, are you Max Velocity? The other times, it's just like, are you that guy from YouTube or something along those lines? It's like the most weird thing. Thank you, Lady J, for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate that. Are the tornadoes coming to Alaska? I don't think so. We did have a test emergency, like, tornado warning in Alaska, I think, last year. Kind of caught people off guard. The only thing that I'm seeing on the correlation coefficient is clear air contamination. So, again, it's really nothing too impressive. I'm still not seeing anything, though, on this observed tornado warning. It must have been a super brief tornado or something like that, because, yeah, I'm just not seeing it right now. Where's Elkhart, Indiana? It's starting to get dark there. There's a little... Oh, that's back up here. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing really happening there. Oh? This right here is probably about to get tornado warning. I think it just did. Near South Bend. Yeah, alright. Alright, Granger, Edwardsburg. That's a new tornado warning near Interstate 8090. A very populated area, actually, on the northeast side of South Bend. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter. Away from windows, lowest floor possible, and interior room of your home or building. I was, like, looking at this, I was like, wow, that probably is about to get warned. So, there you go. New tornado warning. Again, if you're in Granger, get to your safe place. That is very interesting, to say the least. No CC drop quite yet, but velocities have definitely come together a little bit here. I don't think this is going to produce a strong tornado, but there's enough rotation there for a tornado in the South Bend area. So again, moving northeast. Well, speaking of Elkhart, we have an Elkhart camera. Elkhart's right here. The camera on the right side of your screen in Elkhart, I'm not sure where that's exactly looking, but we might have to full cam it. Connor is absolutely in shambles right now. He's not even here. I just know for sure he is in shambles, dude. This is another tornado warning in Indiana. Did you plan on being live? No, I did not plan on being live. I don't even think notifications got sent out for this live stream, so I don't think many people even knew I was live. Just gonna wait for the next radar scan on this and see what it looks like. Next radar scan should be in probably about a minute or less here. Also got storms firing up back over in Kansas and Missouri. I don't even think there was a severe risk over here today. Let me double check. I don't think we even had a risk here today. No, we don't even have a risk for severe weather today back over in the Central Plains, and we have storms firing up here left and right. Mostly just wind and hail, but that's interesting. Got one near Maryville, too. It's a live cam on Radar Omega. Pretty ominous skies. Got more storms firing up out here, too. Alright, still waiting for a velocity scan on this new tornado warning. This one is the one that's radar indicated.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Okay. They have gone ahead and issued a new tornado warning. That is going to be for this storm north of Jamestown near Kinderhook, Bethel. This one has again a history of producing tornadoes. This one is downgraded back to radar indicated. So if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building near Galede, Kinderhook, Interstate 69, and Bethel. Moving northeast. The latest scan on that South Bend tornado warning looks like much broader circulation. That weakened pretty quickly. All right, we have a couple updates. We have an update on a severe thunderstorm warning in Kentucky. It is now up to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and 2-inch sized hail in Kentucky. That's back over near Manchester, Oneida, and south of Bettyville. So again, brand new update to this severe thunderstorm warning. It has been upgraded quite a bit. It's up to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds and 2-inch sized hail. That is, wow. That's not really something that was in the forecast today. So that's definitely getting up there. A bit more of a considerable threat there. We do have a live cam in Jamestown, Tennessee. We're going to watch that one closely as we do have an outflow-driven area of storm activity here that's producing damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. We are getting damage reports of a few trees down as well back over in northern Tennessee, mainly near Bowling Spring, and then also back over near Gainsboro, which is where we had that live camera that was going crazy. So, we actually have hurricane warnings now in effect for Florida, by the way. That just came out. Were there any major changes to the hurricane forecast, by the way? I haven't even looked at the outlook. We've been live for severe weather. I have not looked. All right, we're just going to stay zoomed out to the next radar scan. Yeah, we currently have 4 tornado warnings across the board. The one in Kentucky was canceled, so we are back to 4. They're saying it's going to be a Cat 3. Well, I mean, that was already a given. I literally had a video come out like an hour ago about that. We already knew this was at least it's probably going to be a Cat 3. I mean, there's still a chance it's...
A new tornado warning has been issued.
I'm glad we went live. We have another tornado warning. This one's in Tennessee. This is on the... we talked about this 30 minutes ago. We talked about how there might be a tornado on the northern side of the storm, and now we have a new tornado warning. So if you're in Midway or Allens, or Alons, south of or near Birdstown, if you're in this pink polygon... Seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. It's a pretty large, broad area of circulation. It's also very rain-wrapped, but, again, another tornado warning. One in the direction of Midway, and SR 111. It's a free-for-all today. I mean, it basically is. Yeah, I guess so. Again, I had no intentions of going live today for severe weather, and now we're back down to 4 tornado warnings because the observed tornado warning was just canceled, but wow. Check the CC. The CC is going to be very contaminated. It's actually not as contaminated as I expected, but we have, it looks like, just at least heavy rain, perhaps even some hail falling. So this rotation, very rain-wrapped going in the direction of Midway. We do have a live cam in Jamestown, so we might see something out of this. So, we're going to keep a close eye on that. Did I get any Culvers? No, I did not have Culvers. Okay, let me... While we have a quick second... another considerable warning. Thank you, Keith, for becoming a member. Thank you, Emily, for the super chat. Your tornado warning jinxes are insane. I know, they're pretty bad. Thank you, Tyler, for the super chat. It's feeling super stormy in Pikeville, Kentucky. There isn't really anything there yet. Looks pretty normal to me right now. Maybe a little bit later, though. Might be something. Thank you, Gareth, for the $10 super chat. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the Ohio Valley desperately needs rain with the drought that we're currently in, and this is not what we meant. So, it's definitely not what we meant. All right, let me go back to the north and check in on these other warnings. Still have, again, a little bit of a signature still near Granger, just northeast of South Bend, Indiana. But again, if you are in this warning, just keep saying your safe place. We don't really have any crazy rotation on that. They issued a new tornado warning on this dying supercell that's had a history of producing tornadoes. I don't think this one's going to continue much longer, unless something really changes there. I would keep a close eye, though, out on this activity that's a little bit further out in front of it. We might see an isolated tornado try to develop on one of these storms if it's able to basically become tall enough. A much more organized supercell, you know, could produce more of a tornado threat, but for the time being, it's mostly just, you know, it's mostly just wind right now, and not even then, it's not really that windy. Still have a tornado warning in Ohio. Not anymore, though. Just got canceled, as I was going to talk about it. Still some broad circulation, but not anything too crazy. And then the other two storms that are further to the east. We have one near Findlay. Let me go in motion here. We might see this turn into maybe something a little bit more tornadic near Findlay after the storm merger, but I'm not super confident on that. And then back over in southwest Ohio, things pretty quiet right now. Probably going to stay that way for a little bit. So, good news there. This is Brandon Kopic, by the way. He is live on the Radar Omega app. Very ominous skies back over there. That's back up north of Lexington. There's a little storm there that was severe. Now let's go back over to Tennessee. I'm going to give a little gander here to this live camera. Still nothing yet. That Jamestown camera will definitely be watched because we do have a tornado warning again there in northeastern parts of Tennessee, or really more northern Tennessee. So keep a close eye on it. Thank you, Jada, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. By the way, Brandon is not. I don't think Brandon is live right now on YouTube. I could be wrong, but I don't think he is. He is currently traveling for upcoming Hurricane Helene. So if you are wondering, he is, you know, he was not meaning to chase this. I don't know if he is chasing it, but he is at least live on Radar Omega. So, apparently there are homes struck by lightning over on the southwest side of Nashville. There are 3 different reports of lightning strikes that struck homes back over near Forest Hills. This is back at 2:40. So, 2:40 near Belle Meade, Tennessee. Several homes struck by lightning over there, catching fire. Interesting. They spite for the super chat. You're watching the base velocity in South Bend? Yeah, I mean, honestly, though, this storm, it had a little bit of a peak there, but it's still not looking that organized. It still has a hook to it, though. It is near, again, the warm frontal boundary, so these types of storms are going to have a slightly better shot at producing a tornado compared to other ones, because it has more shear available, so. Still has that little shape to it, but again, it's a very low-top supercell. I mean, again, these storms are not tall whatsoever. Like this one over here, it's like maybe 30,000 feet tall. Like, these are small storms right now. This one's not even... That one doesn't even have lightning. The other one that was producing a tornado for a while, that one also does not have any lightning left. This tornado warning was issued in Tennessee. Again, it's a very broad area of circulation. More of a wind threat, in my opinion, but... Keep a close eye on it, see if anything happens. But again, we have 3 tornado warnings. We got 2 in the right along the Indiana and Michigan border, and then this one again in northern Tennessee right now. But a further reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We'll keep you posted with the latest. With severe weather today, apparently. Again, had no plan of going live today for severe weather, but here we are. Alright, let me check chat here. I didn't even get a notification. Well, the problem is we uploaded 2 videos and we also were live last night. That's 3 different things in the last 24 hours, and YouTube doesn't send out notifications if we have 3 like different things in 24 hours, essentially. Or 3 different videos or live streams posted. They won't post a notification. Might even have some rotation developing here near Midway. Perhaps.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Wow. Well, we have a new tornado warning. That's for Continental. Or, yeah, Continental over here in Northwest Ohio. That is for Paulding and Putnam counties. So if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter. Away from windows. Lowest floor possible. And in an interior room of your home or building. Ooh, this is a big radar hole, so we're not going to have a great view of this storm, but does look like we definitely have some rotation to some extent. We might have a tornado. It's going to be hard to confirm with us being in a radar hole. But again, that is currently over near Continental and Oakwood. It's currently moving east-northeast. And again, we don't have any chasers out there. There's probably a couple, but we don't have any. I don't know of anybody that's even live today, so... Just as a reminder, we have cameras, but for those that were wondering, chasers are not really out there. Most of them are going for Hurricane Helene, or upcoming Hurricane Helene. Last couple of scans here near Granger on that furthest west tornado warning in northern Indiana. Very broad circulation at this point. Not super concerned about it, but still has a little hook shape. Could produce a tornado if it's able to grow in size a bit more, but it's a very small supercell. We also have a little storm that's been going here near Goshen. I'm not really too concerned about that from a tornado perspective. And perhaps a little bit of rotation, maybe near Angola, but again, not really too concerned about that either. Really mostly just gonna be gusty winds. I honestly think the worst tornado threat from here on out for at least this part of the country, at least in the Ohio Valley up here, is probably gonna be like more in like this area here. So I wouldn't even consider this even a threat right now, but this would be the area. Anywhere that we get some of these discrete supercells firing up, any of those might produce an isolated tornado or two. So confirmed tornado in Branch County, Michigan? What do you mean? Are you talking about this one? This one was confirmed at one point, but it's back down to radar indicated. Yeah, there's almost no shot this is on the ground. I mean, this thing is... That storm died out so fast. They'll probably end up canceling the tornado warning unless there's something that I'm missing, but that rotation's really died out pretty quickly. I want this stuff in North Texas. Well, our second severe weather season's right around the corner for North Texas. Really starts up in October. Runs through November. Alright, let's see. Still got the live camera in Jamestown. It's looking south. This is near the tornado warning in Tennessee, which goes for 22 more minutes. I'm guessing they'll probably issue a new tornado warning if it still looks concerning. I don't know if this camera can move or not, but if it can, it would be nice if it was looking north. I'm guessing it can't, though.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a new tornado warning in Virginia. This is going to be back over near Martinsville and Mount Hermon. So if you are in this pink polygon, seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. I don't even know if today's thumbnail has Virginia in it. Does it? Okay, apparently it does. All right, so, I mean, yeah. So, again, this is a new tornado warning, broad circulation near Laurel Park and Axton, moving east-northeast. Again, it's going more in the direction of Turkey Fork and Swanson's Mill. But I'm not seeing anything definitive on radar that looks like it's on the ground right now. There are so many areas that we have to be looking right now, so I'm just going to kind of zoom out a little bit. We do have a little bit of broad circulation also northwest of Lynchburg in Virginia. We have a storm near the radar site here. That looks mostly like wind. Again, everything else looks like mostly wind there. We have a warning in North Carolina. That looks like mostly wind. Maybe a little bit of broad circulation. Yeah, just a little bit of broad circulation moving east towards I-73, 74. What is going on up here? This storm has a tornado possible label on it. This is right along the Virginia and Tennessee border. This might get tornado warned. It's going towards Blackwater, Stickleyville, Duffield in far western Virginia. This thing has like a wild looking kind of hook to it, though. Actually kind of surprised it didn't get tornado warned when the rotation was a little bit stronger. I mean, it wasn't really tight, but interesting. That's a mean looking storm, though. Moving to the northeast. Again, your eyes do not deceive you. We have 5 tornado warnings. That is correct. Yes, we have 1 in Virginia, 1 in Tennessee. We got 1 in Ohio and 2 back up along the Michigan and Indiana border. This one, that storm's died out. This one will probably go away here soon. We still have the tornado warning for Granger, broad circulation. That storm's been falling apart pretty quickly. I do think that threat for tornadoes is going to transition a little bit more into northwestern Ohio over the next hour. So we do have that 1 tornado warning right now near Continental. Not seeing anything definitive on radar that indicates that this is on the ground, but it is something that we're going to be watching for as it goes to the east-northeast. Connor, are you watching right now? If so, I have literally no clue. It's going to depend on how long this threat lasts. I mean, again, this literally came out of nowhere. I just woke up and I'm in Northwest Ohio. What the heck? Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I mean, there was again a 2% tornado risk. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, right? There was technically a tornado risk outlined. There was a big-looking turtle. That's what we got right now. We got a large turtle tornado risk here in the Ohio Valley today. But even then, I did not anticipate to go live, and I didn't really think we would have, you know, that many tornado warnings today. So definitely caught me off guard. I think it's definitely caught a few people off guard. Granted, again, we've really only had, I think, really just this one supercell producing tornadoes thus far. Again, some of these other ones might produce tornadoes, but, you know, nothing appears super, like, imminent. Broad circulation still continues near Granger, and then, you know, back over near Ottawa. That storm still relatively broad. But, yeah, I mean, that's definitely interesting, to say the least. They did issue a new severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 for those in Jamestown, near Byrdstown, Paul Mall, and Sharp Place. So, again, this is a live shot out of Jamestown. And on the right side of your screen, that's going to be the incoming shelf cloud and thunderstorm. We're going to see it more here in a minute, but you can kind of see it a little bit better. Oh, the camera's moving. Ooh, where are we going? This camera can move. Let's see how far right it can go. I'm not sure how far they're going to be able to move this. They just start moving the camera towards this tornado warning cell in Tennessee. This is from Gunner on Twitter, back over near Granger, Indiana. A little scuddy look to this. That's the tornado warning cell in northwest Indiana, so a little bit of scud. I'm not sure if this camera can go any further. Oh, it's going. Keep going. I'm not sure how much further it's going to be able to go. Cameraman watching the stream, I have no clue. So this is the Jamestown, Tennessee radar Omega cyclone port, so I'm not sure. I don't know if I just saw a bird go across the screen or what that was. Alright, I'm going to go back to that and see if it does end up moving further. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Corbin and London in Kentucky. And this one is for 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. Who would have thunk 2-inch sized hail in Kentucky today? Kind of crazy, not going to lie. We still got this mean-looking supercell back over near Sneedville and Blackwater as well. Again, right near the Virginia and Tennessee border. But still looks kind of outflow driven to me. I'm not sure that's really going to go too crazy. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much with any of these other storms right now. Alright, we might have something happening here. Back over south of Hillsdale. Got a little bit of circulation here. So right now moving to the east-northeast. So in southern Michigan, might be something to watch. Connor, if you're here, I'm guessing you're here now. I'm not sure. It's going to depend on how long this lasts. So I couldn't give you an ETA. There was never even a hatched risk or anything. I mean, you don't need a hatched risk for there to be tornadoes. And even then, I mean, I don't know if we've really seen anything that strong today. Like, maybe one of those ones in Indiana, but other than that, I haven't really seen much. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if they issue a tornado warning on this storm near Cambria. We'll see if the next scan still shows that circulation. It's not anything too crazy, but if it develops a little bit more into something, it might kind of go a little bit crazy, so we'll see. Then you know, L for the $9.99 super chat. I happen to be in Granger, Indiana today. That's crazy. You know, it's funny. One of my professors, they were under a tornado warning like last week, and they told me, they're like, why weren't you live for this tornado warning? I'm like, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I can't go live for every single tornado warning. But, I mean, I'm glad we went live today because, I mean, again, we have 4 tornado warnings, and we've had a bunch already. Again, a lot of them not super concerning, but it's weird. I had no intentions, again, of going live today for severe weather. So, interesting stuff. All right, let's go back over to Jamestown. Oh, look at that. All right, here's the Jamestown Radar Omega Cyclone Port in Tennessee. Got shelf cloud rolling in. This is a tornado warning cell, but that tornado warning expires in 13 minutes. It'll probably just end up being canceled because I think the rotation's outside of that area. But the camera is still moving, so we are getting a better view of this storm here. Anthony, in my video, I do specify and I use my wording, right? Because, again, models do show one thing, but, you know, I try to make it as clear as possible that, you know, right now the forecasted landfall for Helene is a Cat 3. It could be a low-end Cat 4 upon landfall. I don't think it gets to Cat 5. If it interacts with the Yucatan Peninsula tomorrow morning, I think it'll only be like a Cat 1 or 2 upon landfall, but that's a long shot at this point. Here's the leading edge of that storm. Pretty nice view here. I can't believe this is even happening. I can't either. Very weird. How's it going, Marissa? Welcome back. Hope college is going well. Do I plan on going live when it makes landfall? Yeah, I mean, I plan on being live, and I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Again, I might be in the studio. I might be going somewhere else because I might lose power here, so I'm not sure. I don't really know right now. I'm kind of on the fringe. I don't know if we're going to be in the studio or not covering it. How's it going, Guy? Welcome back. I'll go back to that in a second. Let me go back to... The Tennessee tornado warning has been canceled. The one in Virginia is still ongoing east of Martinsville. Again, just very broad circulation. Nothing too concerning in my opinion. More of a wind and hail threat, but continue to stay in your safe place.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Okay, this one does not surprise me. I thought it might get warned earlier, but they have gone ahead and issued this tornado warning on this storm that is currently located back over near Pennington Gap. This is going to be for Hawkins County and Hancock counties in Tennessee, and then Scott and Lee counties in Virginia. So if you are in that area, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. And as of right now, not really seeing anything too crazy, but it looks like maybe a little bit of rotation near Dry Branch and Fort Branch, which Dry Branch will not be dry for long. So, again, that's moving east, going towards Midway and eventually the Clinchport area. So, again, if you're in this warning, seek shelter. Pretty impressive supercell. This is probably one of the more impressive supercells that we've seen today. Well, let me look at the cloud tops. Yeah, the cloud tops are up there. Upwards of almost 50,000 feet. I mean, the storms up in Indiana and Ohio are all just low-top supercells. So, this is the tallest one that we've had thus far. Well, let's see what the next radar scan shows. You guys have such dirty minds in the chat, guys. Get your head out of the gutter. Goodness gracious. It's a classic looking signature if I've ever seen one. Dibble, are you watching? I don't know if anybody really expected this today. There's just been a bunch of tornado warnings, but the only one that's really done anything, I think, was the Indiana one. Right, let's see what the latest scan shows. No CC drop. We'll see what the velocity show on this one. Is the Mick Ribble here? This is coming together a little bit more now. The wind's going away from the radar, definitely stronger. Still relatively weak going into the storm, but it looks like we do have a little inflow notch now. So this one might actually produce as it moves towards Kyle's Ford and Midway. So, eventually going towards Clinchport. Am I gonna be live tonight? I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're gonna still have a hurricane update tonight, even with this, but it's been kind of a weird day, not gonna lie. Corey Gherkin, I'm not sure if he's going to have any live view of this. I'm not sure if he's going to go live, but he's about to drive through a storm that's producing 2-inch sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So I'm not sure if he's going to actually drive through it or if he's just going to wait it out. He might just end up waiting it out because he has a new car, so not entirely sure we're going to see that from him. But never know. Ohio tornado warning still continues. Not really seeing much there near Continental. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning near Tiffin. A little mezzo maybe trying to form on that. Could get an isolated tornado out of this system. Or storm, I should say, as it moves to the east-northeast. Bowling Green in Ohio also under a severe thunderstorm warning. And then the tornado warning near Granger probably going to be canceled. So, good news there. Probably. If you're in South Bend, you don't have to be in your safe place. I just saw somebody say that in the chat. Unless you're in the tornado warning, I'd stay there for a few more minutes, but rotation's been weakening quite a bit on that one. All right, let me go back to Jamestown, see what's popping there. Jamestown, Tennessee, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Wind's picking up now. Storm's moving in pretty quickly. We'll see what happens here over the next couple minutes. Got to catch up on a couple things. Thank you, James, for the $3 Venmo. Appreciate that. Okay. Your hairline looks like a rain band from the hurricane. Thanks. Appreciate that. I'm glad you think that way. If you guys see any reports on Twitter, you can @ me on Twitter @ MaxVelocityWX. Again, we have videos on our Twitter page @ MaxVelocityWX that are retweeted from the tornadoes that happened earlier in Indiana, so definitely go check those out. Make sure to follow me on there as well while you're over there. Whoa, what was that? Just flew at the camera. Did you guys just see that? What was that? I need to go back in the stream and look what that just was. What was that? I don't know what that just was. On the flip side of things, we may have a tornado on the ground here in northeastern Tennessee. Velocities have tightened very rapidly on this storm. Small CC drop, but not enough to confirm this. This hook is nasty. Got really strong inflow. This supercell's come together really rapidly. Yeah, we may have a tornado on the ground. We have a small, like, little CC drop. I wouldn't say it's enough to confirm a tornado yet, but it's not far from it. It's going towards Kyle's Ford, again, here in northeastern Tennessee. Waiting for velocities to update here. We'll have another radar scan in a moment. Probably going to be about 30 seconds from now. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you see the entire tornado warning again. Northeastern Tennessee, south, very far western Virginia. Thank you, Sean, for the $20 Venmo. I really appreciate the generosity. That's crazy. A year. Appreciate that. Apparently, we're 5 subscribers from 375,000. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you, Noel, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. There's a live camera? Where was there a live camera over here? I'm gonna look and see. Apparently somebody just said there's a large tornado, but we don't have any live cameras, at least on here. Let me see if you have any view of anything. No camera there. I'm waiting for velocities and CC to update, because that'll definitely tell us if it's on the ground. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is on the ground. It has a very classic looking shape to it and everything.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
Alright, we have a tornado on the ground now in Tennessee. This is just a normal tornado observed, but it might get upgraded. We haven't seen the CC update yet. But if you are in this warning, seek shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. This is now a confirmed tornado. And that's it. So it's not a huge CC drop, but we do have a tornado near Kyle's Ford approaching Livesay Mill, eventually going towards Midway. So, again, if you're in the warning, seek shelter. We do have a confirmed tornado, though, by both radar and possibly visual. Let me see what it says on here. Yeah, this is a radar-confirmed tornado near Sneedville, right along the Tennessee and Virginia border. Very classic-looking supercell here, though. That thing really wrapped really quickly. I mean, again, we got a really strong inflow going into the storm. Not really something that we had before until a few minutes ago, and really impressive hook echo. They really timed the tornado warning on this pretty well. But we do have a CC drop now, so there's definitely a tornado. Velocities appeared way stronger, and at least much tighter back over near Rock Hill. So there's a possibility that this does occlude pretty quickly, but we'll see what happens. This is technically our second severe weather season, so yeah, I mean, technically, I'd put it in like air quotes because, you know, what we're seeing right now, I mean, this is not unusual for this time of the year, but it's kind of our second severe weather season, right? Because usually that begins in the fall. Fall is like our second severe weather season. Depending on where you are in the United States, it can be as early as September and October. It can be as late as like January, you know, or whatever. It depends on where you are. So obviously, further north you are, the earlier it is, and then further south you are, the later it is. If you guys hear those dings in the background, that sounds like an Xbox. That's just when we have a new severe thunderstorm warning issued or an updated severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to try to make it at some point to the point where you guys can't hear that, but for now it's just kind of background noise. The CC drop on the latest scan, much smaller. We still have rotation, not tight, but winds going away from the radar still very strong. I could still see this, you know, wrapping around here and producing another tornado as that moves east. Going back to Jamestown real quick, this is that live camera that we were looking at a few minutes ago in Tennessee. This is a 60-mile-per-hour windstorm. Had a little lightning strike there a second ago. It was cloud to ground. But it looks like the worst of that storm has missed that area. Looks like Corey Gherkin is driving right through this hailstorm over here near Corbin, Kentucky. We no longer have a tornado warning in northern Indiana, but they have put a 60-mile-per-hour wind warning on this and also a tornado possible label. It's a relatively small supercell, again, very low topped, not super concerned about that. Back over in northwest Ohio, we still have several storms here. None of them really look imminent for a tornado risk, but I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado. I think if one really tried to pop, it would probably be more of a northern storm, but this one near Tiffin still has that kind of look to it, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Northwest Ohio. Kentucky, mostly wind and hail right now.
This is an urgent alert. A tornado is on the ground. Seek shelter immediately.
Okay, so this is still an observed tornado warning. They've just updated it. So still an observed tornado warning over Livesay Mill and Kyle's Ford. The latest update on the warning is that it's still a radar-confirmed tornado. So nothing in terms of new updates on this, but it is still a confirmed tornado via radar. So near Kyle's Ford, moving towards Midway. Back over in Virginia, we still have a tornado warning northwest of Danville. This one hasn't really materialized into anything. The rotation still remains very broad. I would honestly say this one's more going to be just a wind threat from here. But yeah, it's moving east. The Galesburg camera is Fort Madison. I am well aware. I honestly, I was trying to fix the cameras, and for some reason we got Fort Madison. I'll fix it real quick, but I got to fix the cameras. We didn't have the right cameras going into the stream. We should have one back over in Kentucky. I just don't have it up. This is a very pretty view, I'm not going to lie. This is just a camera on Radar Omega. This is back over in eastern Tennessee. What a beautiful view right there. This is like I'm pretty sure that's a new camera. Never seen that one before. Alright, latest scan, not seeing as much of a debris signature anymore. Again, rotation's really broadened out pretty quickly. So, and if anything changes, we'll let you know, but that rotation's much broader. Thank you, Mia, for the super chat. I'd say Ohio is mostly going to be wind, but again, an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. Wait for another radar scan here. This supercell looked incredible, like in terms of structure on radar 10 minutes ago. It's kind of lost that, so it's lost that so fast. Structure is just gone. You think West Virginia will get anything? You might get some rain, but I'm not really expecting anything too significant in terms of severe weather. Still got storms trucking along here across southeast Kentucky. Mostly just wind and hail. You know, Corey Gherkin, again, he's currently traveling here. I know he's not live. I don't know if it's... Let me check real quick. We have a camera with him. I'm not going to go to him in case something else on his screen, but I'm going to see... I'm not sure he's even live streaming to, like, his other thing. Yeah, I don't think he is. Okay, so I don't think he's, like, live in general on anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went live if there's actually something on this storm. I'm not sure what he's up to, but... I mean, he's literally next to this storm that it looks like almost has, like, a small little mezzo on it. And we're in between 3 radar sites, so it's just so hard to tell, but the other radar site kind of showed the same little look to it. I want to message Corey real quick and see if he sees anything. All right, I just messaged him to see if he sees anything. I'm curious because it looks like we might have a little bit of something to it, but it's hard to tell. We're just in between so many radar sites. We apparently have a severe thunderstorm warning in Texas, back over near Eastland. So, that's a new one. I mean, honestly, this is kind of crazy. like, we've even had severe storms back up here in Kansas and Missouri. This wasn't even in the forecast today for us to have severe weather up here. This is a live shot north of Kansas City, again, on the Radar Omega app. We got a severe storm up here to the north. I mean, it's weird. Weird stuff happening. Weird day, to say the least. Corey actually might be, like, taking photographs right now or something. Because he's pulled over, it looks like. Alright. Back to the confirmed tornado warning again near Churchill in northeast Tennessee and western Virginia. Still not seeing anything definitive on radar of this being on the ground again, but we might have... This might be recycling. No debris signature, but velocity still tight enough to where we might get another brief tornado as this approaches Big Springs and Flat Rock, right along the Tennessee-Virginia border. Gate City will eventually be in the track of this. Still have a hook echo. Got a little storm that's firing up right out in front of that, so that could hinder its long-term, or at least its short-term, like, development of a tornado, but after that, might have a little storm merger action, and maybe something happens after that. But, yeah, not a super favorable environment for tornadoes, so it might not be a super long-lasting one. Weird weather. Wasn't expecting this today. Again, I had no intentions of going live today for severe weather. And here we are. Alright, Corey just messaged me. So the storm that we are looking at near Corbin, Kentucky, he just said, I can't get a long enough view, but it's definitely ramping up. So take it as you will. Again, there might be some sort of rotation down here. I just don't know. But he didn't say anything about that, so at least for now we can assume that's probably not anything too crazy. But he is going through a pretty densely populated, at least, town, so it might be a bit harder to see. Hey, you Waco for the $5 super chat. I got a car wash today, and that's why there's severe weather. Thanks for your commitment. I mean, there's actually been some rain down in Waco. Just south of Waco. It's 2024 for you, pretty much. Apparently, Helene is starting to rapidly, or not rapidly intensify, but apparently it's starting to intensify more. I'll take a look on my other monitor and see what it looks like. Let me go back to this. Or we'll stay here for a minute. Let me check and see. What about Cincinnati? Should be mostly just an isolated damaging wind threat there. It doesn't look that crazy, to be honest. This is what Helene looks like. There's a lot of convection. This is like, obviously, this is definitely going to intensify in, overnight, but yeah, it's not spinning too much. We don't have like a solid core developing yet, but man, this environment in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico is just so favorable for a tornado. Or not tornado, a hurricane. It's crazy. I'm not seeing as much rotation on this tornado warning anymore. They might end up downgrading this back to radar indicated. No CC drop anymore. Velocity's broadening out. And then back over here, south of Roanoke, still looking at really just pretty broad circulation in southern Virginia. Near Mount Herman, northwest of Danville. Aside from that, I'm going to check back up here and see if we have any rotation. Still have, like, really weak circulation right along the Indiana and Michigan border. Very weak rotation. It is a very low-topped supercell again, near Kessington and Adamsville. But I just don't see that really going crazy. We also have a storm that's back up in southwest Michigan that's been developing more and more. That might become more of a tornado threat if it's able to organize, but there's a lot of rain out in front of it. So that might struggle. And then the other storm right along... This one's probably going to get a warning. So this one is currently in southern Michigan. We were talking about this like 15 minutes ago. This might get tornado warning in southern Michigan as that goes towards Pittsford. So that'll eventually go towards Rollin and Hudson. We definitely have rotation ramping up on this one, though. That one's been ramping up for a while. So I would not be surprised at all if we get a tornado warning on that here soon. Maybe even in the next couple minutes. Thank you, Debbie, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Also, we do have a new mesoscale discussion for Oklahoma. I'm not sure if it's new, but we have had one recently. I just don't know where it is. Let's see. It's the latest scan. Still got rotation on this storm in southern Michigan. A little mesoscale discussion. Just put another tab. Supercells with large hail or severe hail potential will develop this afternoon and evening. A severe thunderstorm watch will be possible. That is for central and southern Oklahoma, just southwest of Tulsa, just north of North Texas. So if you're back over there, severe weather will probably
a new
start to ramp up
tornado
here pretty
warning
soon.
has been issued.
The tornado warning in Tennessee has been downgraded back to radar indicated. So that one's no longer on the ground. All right, I'm going to see if we have any other updates here. Pressure's down to 992 millibars on Helene. Yeah, it's definitely going to intensify overnight tonight. There's no doubt, and even now. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it should get going pretty quickly.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
All right, new tornado warning in Michigan. That is for Cambria, Pittsford, near Ransom, Somerset, Wheatland, just west of Hudson. If you are in this warning, seek shelter, away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. Again, this is going to be just off to the south of Jonesville and Litchfield, pretty south of Jackson, for reference, and pretty far west of Detroit, basically southern Michigan. All right, so that's the area that we're looking at. I remember covering a tornado emergency right along the border here back. When was that? That was back in like April, I think, or May. It's crazy. This area was very active when it came to tornadoes in April and May. It's been pretty quiet ever since, but it's interesting right now. We got a warm frontal boundary again right in this area. That's going to kind of spin up some of these storms a little bit more, adding a little bit more wind shear to the environment. May 7th, thank you. May 7th is when we had that tornado emergency up here in Michigan. Kind of in this area. It was like right in this area too. Corey Gherkin does have a view of a shelf cloud on this storm. I'm not seeing any rotation here, but more of a hail and wind threat. And Corey's kind of looks like I'm guessing his tracker hasn't updated. There's no way he's in that hail core, but yeah, he was in this storm. Looked like he had a little bit of rotation. He's not live, but yeah, he has a view. It looks like of a shelf cloud there. Back to the tornado warning in Tennessee. And rotation still relatively on the broad side of things. It's really weakening as it moves into Virginia. Bit of a storm merger happening as well, so that might hinder its development for a little bit. Might organize again later on, but it's definitely disorganized for the time being. Still have a tornado warning in Virginia, broad circulation. That one's going to be canceled, I think, or at least let to expire here in a few minutes. And then we also have some maybe broad circulation, maybe trying to develop here. Got a couple of little like hook formations that have tried to develop near Stewart. So maybe something to watch as that moves east-northeast. Yeah, and then let's check out Cincinnati real quick. We do have a storm west of Cincinnati. That's just a strong storm. And then Ohio has storms literally everywhere right now. We got a lot of storms in northwest Ohio. I would have to say the one storm that, again, that might go tornadic at some point would be the one near Tiffin. We still have broad circulation there near Tiffin. And so we'll have to watch that as it moves eventually towards Norwalk, Route 20. It's moving northeast right now.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
And we have another tornado warning. We talked about this before as well. This one might go tornadic. And there you go. Another tornado warning near Penn in southwest Michigan. So west of Three Rivers, that is going to be for Cass County. You are in this warning, seek shelter. Rotation is ramping up a little bit. It's not too strong, but we definitely have rotation now developing here. And that will be moving off to the east-northeast. It's near Penn right now. Three Rivers will be a bit more of a long-term track of this. This is what it looks like right over on US 131. This is right just to the south of Three Rivers. Very ominous skies right now here in Michigan. This as of a couple of minutes ago. US, I don't know what's going on. I mean, you could try Venmo or something. I'm not sure why it's not working. That's weird. I'll look into it after the stream, though. There might be something on my end on that donation link. We'll have another radar scan here in a moment. We are at the 540 radar, so we'll have another radar scan probably in the next 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Velocities are a little bit behind here. And we have two tornado warnings in Michigan. We got one along the Virginia and Tennessee border, and then we have one purely in Virginia for the next minute. All right, here's the latest scan. We're going to see what the velocities look like and see if it's coming together or not. You know, it's interesting. NATOcast had a 5% up here, right along the border. Show you guys real quick. This was NATOcast outlook, which, to be honest, it's not It's not been super off so far. It's been a little bit off. I mean, we had a tornado here, but 5% back up in, you know, Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. Again, NATOcast is more of an experimental tool. It uses a bunch of computer models. This was their original forecast today, which is actually spot on, which is crazy. Like, we literally had three or four tornadoes just in this area out of that one supercell. We had a tornado again up in here in northeast Tennessee. That didn't get picked up very well. Had a tornado warning in Kentucky. We had one over here. We've had a couple over in here. So it's actually been fairly accurate, which is crazy. How's it going, Jared? Thank you for becoming a 5-month member. Latest velocity scan still showing broad circulation near Cassopolis, near Penn, and that's again in Cass County, Michigan. Still have some rotation near Cambria, moving towards Pittsford. Honestly, this one still looks the healthiest out of both storms when it comes to a tornado potential. So if you're in Hudson or Wheatland, continue to stay in your safe place near Somerset. And still watching the storms in Ohio. Looks mostly like a wind threat for now, but keep a close eye on these storms if anything does get going. I really wish there was like a radar site over here somewhere in northwest Ohio. Am I going to report on Helene? I just had a video about it an hour ago. I'm going to have another live stream on that tonight. Again, this stream is for severe weather, not for Helene. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for Oklahoma City. That storm fired up really fast. Wow. There are cameras in Oklahoma, so I'm going to see if we have a view of anything. We actually have a virtual rail fan in Oklahoma City. Let me pull that up. Where is Oklahoma City on here? We don't... Okay, we got Deschler. All right, we're gonna give me like 2 seconds. I gotta fix some of these cameras on the right because we have good cameras that are just not on here. I don't need to be. I really don't have to be looking at a train right now. I need to pull up the right camera. Give me 1 second. So we got one in Deschler, Ohio. That is where there is a severe storm right now, or in that area. Not a great view, but it will at least give you a view of something. And then we also have that one in Oklahoma City that I need to pull up. Because Oklahoma City, that storm is blowing up fast. Big hailstorm for the most part here. Where's Oklahoma? Right here, okay. We got Oklahoma. Wow, we are gonna go to the Oklahoma camera and full screen it. This is on the virtual rail fan cameras. Look at that. That is a gnarly looking storm. That's a full view of it. That's kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Pretty impressive storm. Didn't really expect to see that on the camera. Hey, Montiv for the $4.99 super chat. Yeah, it's very humid out there. There's definitely gonna be some fog. We saw that over in Tennessee. Right after a storm went through, it got pretty foggy. Thank you, Kim. Marissa, also for becoming 3- and 4-month members. Appreciate that. Crazy looking storm, though. Crazy looking storm in Oklahoma. Well, definitely, I'm going to keep a close eye on that. If we have another interesting view, we're going to go back to it. They did just issue a severe thunderstorm watch. Really not surprising, but they did just issue a watch for this area. Thank you, Court, for becoming a 3-month member. Here's that severe thunderstorm watch. So if you're in Oklahoma City, McAllister, just north of Ardmore, that's where we're mainly looking for hail and wind this evening. The tornado risk is basically 0 here. I mean, it's pretty much 0. I mean, there's really not much of an environment here for tornadoes, but hail and wind possible. For sure. Thank you, Jared, for the super chat. Man, I don't know, man. Arizona's been brutal. It'll probably be a little bit nicer in October as we go into fall. That's all I can tell you. We don't have any like major cooldowns on the horizon, though. Thank you, Rainia, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Rotation on the Cass County, Michigan tornado warning cell still relatively broad. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. Back over south of Hillsdale, we still have some broad circulation there as well. But nothing confirmed on either of these storms thus far. They are just areas of interest right now. They are both rotating. Both have the potential for an isolated tornado. This one's again on track eventually for Clinton. Napoleon, just south of Napoleon probably, and Ann Arbor and Canton would be long-term tracks of this storm if it's able to survive in southern Michigan. Thank you, Lydia, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Thank you, Bear Mom, also for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. I'm going to go back down to the south here. Let's check out velocities on the storm again. Yeah, mostly looks like hail and wind here near Corbin. This storm was downgraded to ping pong ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Not really seeing a whole lot of rotation on this storm. There was like a little bit of a concern initially that we might see something there, but not looking too concerning right now. Right along the border of, I mean, this storm, this one had a crazy cycle. I mean, you guys, for those that have been here for a little bit, this was a crazy storm. I mean, initially didn't look like much, developed a hook echo, produced a tornado, and we had this other storm develop out in front of it, and that literally ate up like all the energy, because like that storm died out, and now we have a new one forming near Churchill. And honestly, like this one might try to produce an isolated tornado as it moves east, as it, you know, reforms, but that northern one literally just died so fast. It's crazy. But tornado warning does continue for 9 more minutes. Thank you, Jansen, for the $5 super chat. I wouldn't be too concerned. Just have a tornado action plan in place in Virginia. I'm not too concerned about Virginia, though, to be honest. What is going on here? There is no tornado warning on this. That is really weird. This looks like it should be tornado warned. Do we have another radar site? No, this is the only one. This is near Mount Airy in North Carolina and Southern Virginia. I don't know why that wasn't tornado warned or isn't tornado warned. It's another low top supercell, but like rotation's definitely there. That's a weird one. There's a special weather statement, but that's not, doesn't even have a land spout or anything like that on the special weather statement. I was about to say, too, we have a little bit of circulation also back over east of the Wolp Wine area. And we still have broad circulation near Mount Herman. I don't know. This rotation, though, I mean, it's not as strong as a few minutes ago, but, like, my opinion, this does have a shot at producing something, or might have already produced. Going towards Meadowfield, Virginia. In Kibler. I would at least stay away from windows if you're in this area. Just in case. We have another velocity scan that should be coming in here in a second. I'm going to wait here for a second and see what it looks like. Thank you, Michelle, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you also, Raina, for the one gifted member. Alright, radar has not updated on this for some reason. To me, this just looks like it should be warned, but... Also got a little bit of broad circulation developing near Stewart. Little hook to it. Alright, we're going to come back to that in a minute. We also have a new storm that's developed back over south of Harmon. That's going to be moving towards Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Ominous skies currently. Let's zoom back over to there. A little bit of ominous skies currently here in this part of Tennessee. Knoxville might actually end up having some damaging winds today. That's what it looks like from Knoxville, Tennessee right now. Very ominous skies across the Knoxville area. Rest of Tennessee, though, looks like we're starting to wind down with at least severe weather. There are still storms out there, but most of them are just going to be some gusty winds for the most part. It's very ominous and dark over here in southwest Tennessee, so that's that. The tornado warning back up in Hillsdale County, Michigan has just been updated. It is still radar indicated rotation. Still have some rotation here. Again, it does not look as impressive as before. There is still some circulation moving towards Pittsford. I'm going to real quickly just refresh my radar because this is like bugging out here. Let's refresh the radar real quick. Yeah, it's still bugging out, but that right there near Pittsford is the area of rotation. The storm itself, though, definitely losing some of its shape. Not nearly as organized as before. There's apparently a funnel cloud report near Oklahoma City. I don't know about that. I haven't seen anything about that. Let's see, though, if we have anything. Oh, we have a live camera in Oklahoma City. Looks like right now. So again, the virtual rail fan out of Oklahoma City. I mean, if there's a funnel, it's probably on the back side of the storm, but that's a view of it right now, of this storm. Yeah, I saw somebody say that in the chat. I kind of doubt it. Again, this environment is not that favorable for tornadoes. Let's see what the velocities show here. They're coming in right now. There's the severe thunderstorm watch here for Oklahoma. Let's see what the velocities look like. Yeah, I don't see much here. I don't even know where there would be a funnel on this storm. It'd probably be up here, but even then, like I just don't see it. All right, let me go back to. All right, they have issued at least a severe thunderstorm warning on this storm, and the rotation is a bit broader than before. But near Slate Mountain, right along the Virginia and North Carolina border, going in the direction of Stewart, that is a new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible label. Maybe a little bit of rotation as well back over to the southwest of Philpott, north of Critz in Virginia. Aside from that, Virginia mostly just wind right now. And then nothing really over in Tennessee right now. Let's go back up to the north to Ohio. Still got several supercells up here in northwest Ohio. Again, majority of these are just wind and hail producers. Still wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado, perhaps on the storm near Tiffin. And we even have a little bit of circulation near Willard right now. Couple, maybe a little mezzo trying to develop there. And Tiffin, Willard, not really strong rotation by any means, but there is a little bit of circulation. Maybe, again, a small little mezzo trying to form on that storm activity there. Check out this storm, too. Rotation's broadening on the southwest Michigan tornado warning. That's near, that's for Cass County. So broader circulation there for right now. That storm is going through an environment with a lot of just, showers around it. So it's not really a great environment for that storm. But if anything changes, we'll let you know. Stay zoomed out here for a second. Friendly reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It is free to do. We'll keep you posted with the latest with severe weather coverage. In addition to that, make sure to like the stream. It does help get this out to more people. And if you want to support the page above and beyond, you can become a member with the top link in the description below. It's also pinned in the chat. It starts from $2.99 a month. Helps us be able to do these streams on emergency bases like today and, and any sort of day. Appreciate all the members of our channel. And again, we don't have any word right now on the bench cam. I haven't asked yet, but I'm going to look into that probably tonight. See if we have a bench cam for landfall. The Storm Prediction Center just came out with a new mesoscale discussion. The greatest corridor of severe short-term threat. It's a weird way to word it, but it would be anywhere basically from eastern Kentucky back into northeast Tennessee and western Virginia. So this just came out 5 minutes ago. You think there'll be an isolated tornado in Detroit? I would say it's a very low chance. Very low chance. Apparently there's a little wall cloud back over in Savannah, Missouri. That's on this storm. There's a report of a at least a brief wall cloud on this storm over here in northwest Missouri. I don't know if this camera is going to see it. I don't know what we're looking at here. It looks like the sun. A little bit of circulation, though, there. I don't even know. This area was not even in a risk of severe weather today, so pretty interesting that we have a little bit of something happen there. In Oklahoma City, we just got an upgrade to 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds for Oklahoma City on the north side as well. So if you are in Oklahoma City, be prepared for damaging winds up to 70. This, again, a live shot on the virtual railfan camera. This is the storm right here that we're talking about on the very far right side of your screen. 70-mile-per-hour damaging winds currently possible for Oklahoma City. Is that a wall cloud? No, I mean, that might just be Scud. But no, that's just a big rain shaft. Well, I travel to the bench if they have... No, I'm not traveling to the bench. I'm not going to the bench. That'd be pretty funny, though. Maybe one day. If I'm ever over there near Cedar Key, maybe. Cedar Key is like one part of Florida that is like really rural for some reason. Like there's like almost nobody that lives there. Interesting. Alright. Still have a warning over in Texas too. Let's go back to Michigan. I dare you to go storm chasing this year with Connor. The only time that I'll be going storm chasing is when the weather is something that I don't have to go live for. So, you know, that's not probably going to happen anytime soon. It'll probably happen sometime next year, though. Either that or I'll go with, like, Freddie McKinney or something. It's going to happen at some point next year. I'm dying to go storm chasing in, like, the central or northern plains. Be so lit. But not going to happen this year. There's almost no chance. Broad circulation on the tornado warning near Penn. And again, the one over here southeast of Hillsdale, that one's been dying out pretty quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if this warning gets canceled if the rotation continues to weaken. Because it has been weakening quite a bit here over the last little bit. And still have a tornado possible label right along the Virginia and North Carolina border going towards Stewart. A little bit of circulation moving east-northeast. So nothing too crazy. And then back over to the south of Greensboro, North Carolina. Mostly just hail and wind. So nothing really imminent when it comes to a tornado threat. Same thing goes with the storms over here in northeast Tennessee. Nothing too crazy there right now. So that's what we're looking at right now. Nothing too crazy right now, which is good. But we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning back over to the southwest of Cleveland. And this is a tornado possible label. So that's for Erie County, Lorain County, and Huron counties in northern Ohio. So this will be a storm to watch for. We're going to keep a close eye on this one because it was rotating a little bit more before, it looked like. Not nearly as much now, but maybe a small little mezzo on it might produce some sort of isolated tornado threat. We'll be eventually going towards Route 20. So we'll keep a close eye on that one. How did you and Connor meet? Fun fact, 3 days ago from... Or basically, a year ago from September 21st, which was 3 days ago. That was the first time that me and Connor started working together. I didn't even know that, but apparently that was the beginning. He's our longest tenured storm chaser, over a year now. I started working with him back in mid-September of last year, so again, September 21st, and that was our first stream with him. It's crazy. You know, he was at like 10,000 subscribers, I think, when we started working together. I was at like 60,000 maybe. We've exponentially grown since then, which is pretty crazy to think. So, going back to the live camera here in Oklahoma City. Stay here for a minute or so. So again, in Oklahoma City on the virtual railfan. Kentucky doesn't look too bad, mostly just a wind threat at this point. Maybe an isolated tornado. Why didn't I go live for the Louisville tornado warning? I didn't think it was concerning enough, and I was also going to class, so I have a mix of both. I mean, if there was something that looked concerning, I would have gone live for it, but wasn't too concerning. Have I seen any tornadoes in Australia? No. We've never even covered Australia before. That would be a no. This is Hunter Hurley. He's back over in Savannah, Missouri. This is what I'm talking about. That storm in Missouri looks crazy. I mean, it looks like almost like a lowering, like a wall cloud or something like that right there, but just a massive supercell. And Storm Chaser Hunter Hurley there back over in Savannah, Missouri. That is a severe thunderstorm warning cell. Did have a little lowering as well. I tagged you on Twitter. Okay, I'll check it out. And if you see any photos or videos, you can at me on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. There goes a train. Nice. PDS train intercept right now in the virtual railfan. Here in Oklahoma. Still pretty ominous skies. I mean, again, we're not really seeing anything on that camera, but other than the storm in the background. Just thought it was kind of interesting to look at. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm able to fix this. I'm going to try to do satellite and then go back to radar. I'll refresh my app again and see if that does anything. Okay. That rotation might be coming together a little bit more now. This is just to the southwest of Cleveland, Ohio. We do have a little bit of circulation right now moving northeast. Definitely going to keep a close eye on this. Supercell's trying to come together a little bit more. A little bit of broad circulation right now moving east-northeast. Not really seeing much here on that other Michigan tornado warning. The one near Pittsford, still very broad circulation. Honestly, the two tornado warnings in Michigan, they don't look really that impressive anymore. I do think the threat of tornadic activity in Michigan is beginning to drop quite a bit. So that's at least my thinking right now. I do think the threat of tornadoes is increasing a little bit here, though, in northern Ohio. So that's one area that we're watching for. They have gone ahead and canceled the severe thunderstorm watch for most of Tennessee and the vast majority of Kentucky. It is still ongoing, though, for those in eastern Kentucky, and as well as back over in a very small sliver here of Tennessee where there is still a severe thunderstorm. We have a couple live cameras there, but nothing too crazy happening on those. And then still have a tornado possible label on this storm near Kingsport and Churchill in northeast Tennessee, but I'm not seeing much there either. And we still have a severe thunderstorm warning right along the Virginia-North Carolina border. Also another one north of Danville. We have a little bit of a hook developing on the one near Mount Herman. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a warning on that. Still have a tornado possible label there. I want to go back to the Oklahoma City camera. Look at this. We got a little bit of a scuddy... A little bit of scud rising here. I'm not sure what's happening here. We might have a little... Maybe... I would be surprised if we really got any rotation out of this, but there's like a little bit of a kind of a scud wall forming almost. I wouldn't call it a wall cloud, but that's happening now right now in Oklahoma City, again on the virtual railfan. Thank you, Nathaniel, for the $9.99 super chat. I think the main concern for Oklahoma City will be damaging winds and hail, and then whatever's happening here. This is interesting. Looks like we got a little... It's actually... We got an inflow tail, looks like. Huh. I want to go back to that storm real quick. I'm not seeing any sort of rotation. I'm curious to know where that's actually happening on radar. It might be up in here. All right, it would have to be down in here somewhere, actually, because we have the camera back down in Oklahoma City. This is like in Oklahoma City. Look at that inflow tail, though. We got an inflow tail right here. A little bit of a lowering that's developed. Crazy structure. Happened really quickly. Thank you, Wiz, for the super chat. Mostly just a win threat for Virginia. I mean, seriously, this has developed really fast. Got a nice little... It's a lowering for sure. Still got an inflow tail kind of feeding into this. It's literally in... Like, this is almost downtown Oklahoma City. I'm not sure... I'm guessing this is like... maybe 4 or 5 miles northwest of that. But man, that inflow tail just keeps pumping in. Let me look at the photographs here. I don't really think there was a tornado risk here at all. Not really convinced that that's going to develop into something tornadic, but I'm just curious to look at the environment here. I don't know, man. There's actually like a small chance that we could get a tornado in Oklahoma. This inflow tail just keeps piping into this base that we have. I've got to look at another radar here. Let me look. Tornado warning in southwest Michigan was canceled. We still have the one, though, for Hillsborough County. There might actually be rotation developing here. It's really disorganized, but we still have an inflow tail. And then, again, I don't really see it really rotating that much, but this is an interesting thing that we're looking at here in Oklahoma. Again, it's kind of breaking apart now. It's more organized. It's still got a pretty definitive inflow. And if you're just tuning in, this is the live camera here on the Virtual Railfan in Oklahoma City. Very disorganized now. It's all happening in real time. But if we give it a few minutes, it might do something. Might end up doing something. I wouldn't rule out a tornado. I mean, to be honest, like the photographs actually aren't that unfavorable for tornadoes. I mean, we have like a nice curvature in the atmosphere, and then the wind shear is there for an isolated tornado. I mean, it's not a great environment, but it would be enough. There's enough spin. But, I mean, that lowering that we just had is really disintegrated. Maybe it'll try again. I'm going to go back to radar and show you again what we're looking at here. So this is the storm. Where this exactly is more than likely somewhere in here, near the village. If I show you the velocities here, this is the scan before. I'm gonna wait for the velocities to update here. Once the velocities update, there might actually be a little bit of rotation there. This is the latest scan. Nothing really definitive. Let me go to base velocities. Let's go to tilt 2 and tilt 3. Yeah, so there is rotation. It's not really that crazy, though. It's spinning. You can see it spinning right now. Look at this. It's spinning. Look at that. Look at that spin right there. It's actively spinning. It looks like it's not attached, though, to that low-level cloud base. But it's spinning. You can see it literally spinning right now. I'm going to zoom into this so you guys can see this better. It's literally spinning right now. Inflow is still pumping into this. What is going on? Again, it does not look like it's about to produce. It's rotating, though. It is spinning. This was not on my bingo card for today in Oklahoma. It's on the live virtual rail fan in Oklahoma City. It's again live. And it's not spinning as much. That inflow, this is the inflow right here. It just keeps pumping in. I honestly don't think this is about to produce a tornado, but it is. It does at least look interesting. Is Reed actually? I don't think Reed's live, but is Reed on this storm right now? Yeah, he said apparently he's gonna go for it or something. And the inflow just keeps pumping into this, though. I mean, it's crazy. Inflow just keeps going into this. It's still spinning. It's very broad right now for spin, but it's still spinning. Yeah, this is not currently tornado warning for reference. I know it says tornado warning, but the tornado warning that we have is in Hillsdale, Michigan. There might be another view of this. I haven't really looked, but we might have another view of this. Let me look at the Oklahoma traffic cams and see if we have anything on those. I'm not sure if we do, but I'm going to check that out. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did have another view of this. Out of curiosity, I'm going to look and see if we can get any closer to the lowering here. It just keeps spinning. We still have that inflow, too. Keeps pumping in. Looks like it's recycling. Looks like it's about to produce another base here and maybe try to do something weird. Something sketchy. We have baseball-sized hail in this storm now. This is a destructive supercell in Oklahoma. So this is now up to baseball-sized hail. Nearly 3-inch sized hail right now falling in Oklahoma City. We're gonna stay on this camera. I don't know why we go anywhere else other than radar. This is just unbelievable what we're seeing right now. I'm gonna quickly go back to velocities and radar. I'm super zoomed in, but I'm gonna stay on this just so you can see it. We're not really seeing much rotation right now. It's very broad, at least near the low levels. If we go back to the base 2 and tilt 3 velocities, still some rotation there. It's a big hailstorm though. Again, baseball-sized hail near Oklahoma City. This is no joke for hail. I'm just gonna stay zoomed in. We'll zoom out a little bit. Yeah. Bring it back into focus a little bit here. This is rapidly sucking in inflow right now. Like, rapidly. And it is still spinning. In case this does actually go tornadic, I gotta put Oklahoma in my thumbnail, so I'm gonna quickly add that in case this actually does do something funky. That inflow just keeps pumping in, though. Again, this is your inflow right here. This is insane to watch in real time. Wow. It's crazy. Starting to rain a little bit more at this camera now. If you're just tuning in, this is Oklahoma City. Got a little wall cloud that's kind of formed here, and then we also have it's been rotating a little bit very broadly. Again, this is currently located in Oklahoma City. Literally, this storm right now is producing baseball-sized hail. It's pretty gnarly of a storm. Look at this thing spin. I need to zoom out more again. You guys can't even see it anymore. It keeps going out of shot. Look at that thing spin there on the left side of your screen. Just a large area of spinning clouds. Like, it again, doesn't look like it's about to produce anything. It's still spinning there. It's constantly spinning in that area. It's very fascinating. Okay, we have a thumbnail ready to go in case we have to change it over here. Actually, we might just change it over to begin with. I mean, this inflow, we can't really even see it anymore. It's still pumping in. It's going out of shot now. And there's also rain falling, and it's becoming a little bit heavier. This is still spinning actively. I really doubt we get a tornado here. It's just, again, it's pretty interesting what we're seeing right now in this shot. I gotta keep zooming out because it keeps coming closer. Stay there. Do I have a Discord? Yeah, we have a Discord. The link's in the description. Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is live in Oklahoma City. The Michigan tornado warning is going to expire in 8 minutes. Unless it otherwise gets canceled. Again, this storm right now is just a severe thunderstorm warning cell with baseball-sized hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. Why isn't there a tornado warning on this storm? I mean, it doesn't look like it's imminent to produce a tornado. Like, in my opinion, this does not look imminent, but yeah, I don't see why there would be a tornado warning here. Unless something really develops in the next few minutes. It's just a broad area of circulation right now. Do I have pink walls? No. That's just my lighting. It's not pink. It's supposed to be red. I don't know why people think it's pink. It literally is red. Still spinning on the left side of your screen. Inflow tail not nearly as large. Actually, it looks larger. It looks like fatter. Look how fast that inflow is going in right now. Still spinning over here a little bit. This is shaping up to be a big hailstorm, though, for Oklahoma. There's no doubt. Or Oklahoma City, at least. Shaping up to be a massive hailstorm here. Further reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We do severe weather coverage like this all the time. And this is the virtual rail fan here in Oklahoma City. Crazy storm. We're going to quickly go back to radar just to show you what it looks like right now. Again, big hailstorm right now. It's been downgraded back to tennis ball sized hail for those in the north side of Oklahoma City. We've been seeing the rotation kind of in this area here. It's been near that outflow boundary, I'm guessing, but it's basically up near the village on the northwest side of Oklahoma City. We have another live camera. We have two. We got the main one. This is another one looking at the inflow tail right now. So we're going to go back to that. This camera is just purely looking at the inflow going into the storm. On the right side of your screen is that inflow just literally skyrocketing essentially into this. That's a zoomed in shot. We're going to go back to the other live shot here. Supercell's been organizing rapidly. Thank you, Wanda, for the $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Big rotation in Ohio. All right, let me check it out real quick. Actually, we have a little bit of rotation near Florence, Ohio. And we also still have some northwest of New London. So 2 different pockets of at least some broad circulation right now moving to the northeast. And then the tornado warning really should be done. Yeah, this warning's done. We're done with the tornado warning over in Michigan. The main concern for tornadoes at this point is probably going to be up here in northern Ohio. We have 2 areas of circulation. Might end up getting a tornado warning on one of these. Maybe the one near Florence soon, going towards Amherst. And then the other one near Heartland. I'm going to keep a close eye on that, especially on my other monitor. And we'll obviously go to it if it does go tornado warned. They did just issue a new severe thunderstorm warning for 2-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds for Oklahoma City. Again, big hailstorm right now moving into Oklahoma City. This is, again, that live shot on Virtual Railfan. Zooming out as much as I can. It is the camera zoomed in quite a bit. But that inflow tail is what we're looking at there. Big cloud base is formed on this. Or low cloud base, I mean, has formed on this. It's crazy how fast that inflow is going in. It's crazy. I don't know if this camera's going to zoom out here soon. Yep, it's zooming out. There you go. Starting to zoom it out. This is a little bit better of a view now. This is again live in Oklahoma City. Think my camera's a bit behind? It is. Okay. The camera was really behind. Okay, I didn't realize that. This is what it looks like live, apparently. I think there's hail falling on this camera. I could be wrong. Unless that was just wind. That couldn't have been wind. That might have been hail. I didn't realize how behind it was. This is live. There was just hail, I think, hitting the camera. Pelting it. Alright, let me refresh this and see what we got for live shots. I think these 2 cameras are done for now. Let me check the traffic cameras, because they do have other cameras in here. The storm is starting to speed up a little bit going down to the southeast, so we're going to have to adjust a little bit here. We do have a live shot here. I-40 near Meridian. That's what it looks like here. Very ominous skies at the very top of your screen there. It's a little bit further away, though, from where we were just at. I'm going to see if we have something a little bit closer. This is definitely larger than cheese curd sized hail. This is 100% larger than cheese curd sized hail. I mean, what we were just looking at was very large. Okay, the cameras are taking a little bit to load here. Looks like baseball snow. Interesting. We do have rotation right up here north, like on the north side of Oklahoma City. It's near that outflow boundary. We do have rotation. For sure. Just more of a matter of will it actually try to produce or not. Like, personally, I just don't feel like this is going to produce, but like this environment here is actually not, it's not impossible to get a tornado essentially in this environment, which is, it's the weird thing about it. This is another view of the storm right now. Can't really see it. The wall cloud that we had forming would be back in there somewhere at the top of your screen. Once the storm gets a little bit closer to that, we'll have probably a better view of it. Let me go back to Ohio again, because we did have a couple of storms rotating up there. Rotation pretty broad right now near Florence. Still pretty broad near Heartland. And those are moving to the northeast. Nothing really too crazy there, but we'll continue to keep a close eye on it. Everything back to the west will be mostly damaging winds. And then, yeah, I mean, this will be almost all wind. Maybe a brief spin up. Kentucky looks pretty clean right now. Mostly just wind at this point. Some lightning, some rain. Not really seeing much of a tornado risk anymore for either Tennessee or Kentucky. It's a very low risk, if any. Maybe something up in like northeast Tennessee, but that'd be really about it. And then Virginia still has a tornado threat. So continue to stay weather aware for the next hour or two, but it's a pretty low threat overall. Yeah, this hailstorm here is massive. We got a big hail core going right through Oklahoma City. Rotation is coming together a little bit on the north side of Oklahoma City. Look what Reed tweeted. Wow. Yeah. I mean, this supercell's kind of crazy. It is a crazy structure. I mean, I honestly, like, I'm not saying we're going to see a tornado, but I wouldn't be surprised if something did spin up. And we are back to destructive hail on this. We're back to baseball-sized hail. In Oklahoma City. How's it going, Freddy? Getting ready for your trip? This is live right now, in Oklahoma City. Wind's picking up a little bit. This is inside of the storm that we were just looking at. Wind picked up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Mostly a hailstorm. Again, baseball-sized hail for Oklahoma City. I'm gonna go back and see if any of the other live cameras are picking this up. Okay. Let's see. Getting the final prep done. Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, today was the day that I was not expecting to go live at all for severe weather, and here we are. I was literally ready for tonight to go live for an update on eventual Hurricane Helene, and that did not happen. It will happen tonight, but it's going to be a little bit delayed. Probably be like 8 o'clock or something, Central. Unless this event keeps going. If this storm goes tornadic, we're definitely going to be here. Probably be here all the way through Oklahoma City. I'm still trying to see if we have a camera that has a view of this storm. It's a crazy looking storm. We can get another view of it. Hey, Laces for the super chat. Has everything calmed down? For the most part, the Ohio Valley's calming down. We still have a low tornado risk and a low wind risk, probably through about 7:30, 8 o'clock. So the next hour or so, basically in Central Time for the next hour or so. And then, like, anywhere back down in, like, the, Tennessee area or Virginia, probably going to have a threat through, like, 8 o'clock. And then after that, we're kind of winding down there. I'm checking the Oklahoma cameras, trust me. That's literally what I'm looking at. I'm trying to see if any of these have views of anything. They're all looking at the road, mostly. Like, there's one with a view. I just want to see if there's something better. I want to see if we can see that inflow tail again. Oh, we do not have a tornado warning anymore. I forgot to update the graphic. Tornado warning in Michigan has gone away as of 5 minutes ago. My apologies. I was too locked in trying to find a camera. I'm just going to go to this camera because the other ones aren't loading. So what the storm looks like right now, again, from a distance. It looks a little bit better if we were looking at it from the east. Again, just a massive supercell right now, right over Oklahoma City. Yeah, Reed is not live, unless he's live on something else. He's not live on YouTube. He's just posting updates over on the good old Twitter. Good old Twitter page. Am I ready for Halloween? We're still over a month from Halloween. What do you mean? This is the latest radar scan. Still have rotation right over Oklahoma City. That's where our, like, wall cloud was developing. So, still possible that we get something there. Back up to Ohio and check in on that again. Yeah, I think, honestly, the Ohio tornado threat probably pretty close to done. There's still a low threat back over near, like, New London. Still got a little hook to this thing, a little inflow, but it's not super organized. It's still relatively looking mid. So, I'm not super concerned, but again, if something happens, we'll go back there and check it out. The Oklahoma storm, again, just has the craziest look to it, both on radar and also on in visual. Again, that's the storm right there, obviously. Producing baseball-sized hail in Oklahoma. Don't lie, you know you have the drunk NATO costume ready to go? I do not have a drunk NATO costume. However, that would be a really good idea. Imagine we sold drunk NATO costumes for Halloween. That'd be the craziest thing. I don't even know how I'd do that. That'd be kind of crazy. Looks like a storm's forming west of Oklahoma, or Oklahoma City. I'll check it out in a second. That's fine, Connor. You're here. Let's check it out. This is the latest radar scan. How's it going, Autumn? Oh, this one over here. Look at this outflow right here. Kind of going crazy. Let me see what that storm looks like. I am indeed here. What a supercell. I don't know if you were here for the inflow tail. It was crazy like 10 minutes ago. Had like a full-blown wall cloud form. And there might still be one. We don't have a clear view of it anymore. But right over Oklahoma City, there's still some circulation. I don't think this is going to go tornadic, really, but it had some broad spin. More of a hail event, though, for sure. The hodographs actually did have enough, I feel like, for there to be a tornado here, but they didn't add a 2% or anything like that. I was quietly lurking while preparing my slideshow. It's crazy that you're making a slideshow. I used to do that in 2020 when I had North Texas Weather Center. I used to make slideshows on Google Slides for all my videos that I made. It's like the most intensive process ever making videos. Now everything's just on Google Chrome tabs. That's exactly what I'm doing. That's crazy. See if there's anything on Twitter here. Yeah, this is the storm right here. We still have, it looks like some sort of lowering there, but it's too hard to tell from this angle. I'm going to see if we have any other live cameras too, but we have a big baseball-sized hailstorm literally going right through Oklahoma City. Make sure to protect your vehicles if you're in Oklahoma tonight, or even in North Texas. Massive supercell in progress here across central Oklahoma, moving to the southeast. Eventually going in the direction of Slaughterville and Shawnee, kind of in between the two. Crazy shot from Cameron Nixon on Twitter. Let me look it up. I am retweeting photos on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. Pretty crazy shot from Cameron Nixon on Twitter. Give me a west camera. I need a west-facing camera from the east side here of Oklahoma City. That's like the best shot that we're going to get. Slaughterville. Slaughterville's kind of a crazy name, not going to lie. Slaughterville, Oklahoma. Let's go. Whopper. Welcome back. Whopper, 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 Whopper. Did you see my posts? I don't know. If you're adding me on Twitter, I have a lot of notifications coming in on various things, so I may have. I also might have not. Okay, our only camera that has a view of this seems to be the one on, unfortunately, the only one. Which this one actually is losing the view of the storm, so that is unfortunate. Still have a little bit of circulation, a little bit of spin here on the southeast side of Oklahoma City now. Let me go to base velocities and see. Tilt 2, tilt 3. Seems pretty broad across the entire atmosphere, but we still have a little bit of circulation there on the south side of Oklahoma City. So, again, that's moving southeast. Eventually going to be going in the direction of Norman and Slaughterville. Baseball-sized hail, again, being the main concern. They don't have a tornado possible label on it. I don't really blame them. Again, what we saw with the rotation and that lowering wasn't anything, that crazy. Still have a severe thunderstorm warning back up here in northern Ohio. That's near Clarksfield, approaching Oberlin. Still have an inflow going to the storm as well. Low tornado potential with this. They do have a tornado possible label on it, but at this point, I would say it's a pretty low shot that we actually get a tornado out of it. The one that looked like it might try to do something back up near Florence, it's struggling. Still a little bit of spin, but that's eventually just going to go into Lake Erie and probably just become a Fishnado type event. But yeah, not really too much left really in the Ohio Valley. Things have been definitely quieting down quite a bit here. So, good news there. And obviously back in Florida, we're going to be talking about this in a couple hours on our update on Hurricane Helene, or upcoming Hurricane Helene, but we're going to have a full-blown update on this, probably an hour or two long tonight, just kind of talking about this on a different live stream. So we'll have that stream scheduled here probably relatively soon. I'll probably schedule it before we actually even get off on this stream. So I'm going to do that real quick. This storm's been downgraded again. We are back down to tennis ball-sized hail for Oklahoma City. That's for Lincoln, Oklahoma, and Cleveland counties in Oklahoma. Okay.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
Alrighty. We have a new tornado warning for Ohio. So if you are in this new tornado warning, in Erie, Lorain, or Huron counties in Ohio, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible, and in an interior room of your home or building. That is the new tornado warning. So that's for Wellington and Elyria, south of Vermilion. That's where our new tornado warning is. So again, if you are in that warning, seek shelter. Not really super surprised by this one, but rotation did not look super strong before. Actually, it's coming together a little bit now. A little bit more rotation down near Clarksfield. Good thing we didn't get off. I almost thought about it. We're starting to think about it. Let me see if we have any Oklahoma cameras here. Or Ohio, I mean. It's on Route 20. All right, nothing on Route 20. Back up near Illyria, we might see something more. A little bit of rotation, though, right over Clarksfield, or Oberlin's the main location in the track of this, eventually going towards Illyria. Anything in Virginia? Probably not much in Virginia at this point. Just isolated wind. Anything for Southern Ontario? Ontario, sorry. Probably not, no. I kind of doubt we have much there in Ontario. Alright, we're going to change that camera something else here, because the Oklahoma City camera has now gone down. Back to Elkhart. Alright. Latest scan, still showing rotation. It's relatively broad right now, but again, it is a pretty populated area, so if you know any friends or family here, just let them know. Make sure they're getting to their safe places. There is a pretty strong inflow going to the storm. There is obviously a hook echo. It's a pretty decent-looking supercell for what it is. We are getting pretty close to sunset, so daylight heating is going to kind of wind down here, but there is just enough of an environment left for maybe one more brief tornado before this event's kind of all done here in Ohio. Go back to Oklahoma City and check that thing out real quick. I don't know what is going on with the radar site in Norman, but that thing is absolutely struggling right now. I don't know what happened to it, but there's a lot of lines running through it. Not sure what in the world's happening there. Still have, it looks like, a little bit of rotation, though, on the south side of the storm. It's been kind of there for a while in Oklahoma City. Still mostly a hail threat, though. Disco ball, absolutely. A disco ball radar site. That'd be pretty funny. If we have like we should get an emoji for that in the stream. Go back to Missouri real quick. We did have rotation on a storm in Missouri, but I think that storm's dying out, yeah. These storms in Missouri are dying out. We did have a little bit of severe weather near Kansas City, too, but there was a little bit of rotation at one point. Did have a wall cloud at one point, and that's obviously gone. Can you check East Tennessee? East Tennessee's winding down too, and again, mainly just isolated damaging winds from here. That's really about it. New radar scan will be in here in just a moment. And it's now in. Let's check this out. Still doesn't... I mean, again, the velocities look tight here, but the problem is that that's like in the inflow. So if there's a tornado, it's going to be near Clarksfield. Still not tight, but it does look like it's organizing a little bit more. Going towards Oberlin, Ohio. That'll be the area in the track of this over the next several minutes. You Obi, Tivon, and Laces, and B. Smith for the super chats. I apparently missed all of those somehow. Appreciate the super chats. Will North Texas see any severe weather tonight? If you see anything, it's going to be more than likely after midnight tonight. So if you're, in North Texas, primarily north of I-20 is where any severe weather would happen. It's a pretty low risk. Be mostly just damaging winds and perhaps some isolated large hail. I'm retweeting another photo on Twitter of that Oklahoma City storm at Max Velocity WX on Twitter. Another crazy shot of that storm. It's pretty crazy there. And then also in Maryville, Missouri, there was a ton of hail on the ground. I'm going to retweet that photo on Twitter too. That's another crazy one. Over in Maryville, Missouri. The pavement there was paved with hail. This is from Kyra Pasley on Twitter. This is also a view of that Oklahoma City storm. That right there. Big inflow tail on the right. Again, that's what we were watching on that live camera on the virtual railfan earlier. A couple more shots of that as well. Will it be a Cat 5 if you eat cheese curds? I don't know. I'm avoiding cheese curds at all costs this week. I haven't had any in like 3 weeks, so. Actually, I think the last time I had cheese curds was probably when Storm and Media was here. And we got Buffalo Wild Wings. That was probably the last time I had cheese curds. I might have had some, I don't know, maybe like the first weekend of this month, but I don't feel like I did. Here's the latest scan. Rotation's coming together a little bit more near Clarksfield in Ohio. Definitely got to watch this closely as it moves towards Berlin and Elyria. Would not rule out a tornado as that moves northeast or east-northeast. I've run out of water. I'll be back in a second. I wasn't prepared to be live for 2.5 hours today for this, so I did not have my water jug here. It's going to be going basically right up Route 20 here pretty soon. Northern Ohio. The National Hurricane Center just put out a new update for those that are wondering about Helene. It is strengthening. It is now up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. So it's becoming a stronger tropical storm. And then tomorrow evening, or even tomorrow afternoon, we are likely going to see rapid intensification. And we're going to have a full update on Hurricane Helene here in like an hour. It's down to 986 millibars. Sheesh. Yeah, it's definitely intensifying pretty quickly. I'm not surprised, to be honest. I mean, really, the biggest thing that would be a factor at this point is if it actually interacts with the Yucatan Peninsula, which looks like it's a pretty low chance that's going to happen at this point. But if it does, that would basically mean that we would see a much lower-end hurricane. It would be more like a Cat 1 or Cat 2 instead of a Cat 3 or low-end Cat 4. We're going to go back to that in a second. I'm going to go back to Oklahoma. Yeah, we have a storm west of El Reno, but that one's not going to really materialize into much, at least right now. The main one, again, is the one in Oklahoma City. More than anything, it's just wind at this point and hail. Golf ball-sized hail is now what it's warned for, so the hail potential's dropped off quite a bit. The correlation coefficient picking up on a ton of hail back over near Midwest City and just southeast of Oklahoma City. So, pretty big deal there. But yeah, near Wakeman right now, that's the main area that we're looking at for at least some rotation. How's the hurricane? You'll find out at 8:30 or so tonight. As long as we don't get any sort of crazy tornadic activity that keeps me on here past 8 o'clock, we'll have a live stream at 8:30 talking about Helene. It's at least the plan. I want to talk about Helene, it just, we don't really... Can't really do that when we're talking about severe weather, too. Thank you, Jason, for the super chat. Appreciate that. Yeah, 8:30 Central Time. 8:30 Central. 9:30 Eastern. That's the current plan time. It will probably end up being earlier. I just have to eat dinner. So as long as we're not here for another, like, hour, I'll be live then. I also have to make a thumbnail for tonight's stream, so.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We don't have a new tornado warning. They just upgraded it to 1-inch hail. That was the only thing that's changed. So, just an FYI. We do not have a tornado on the ground, nothing like that, at least being reported, but they did upgrade the warning to 1-inch hail. Latest scan actually shows that rotation a little bit stronger now, southeast of Wakeman. It's not tight by any means, not on the ground, but we also don't have a debris signature, but it has come a little bit more organized. So we'll see if on the next scan if it keeps going that way, or if it trends more in the opposite direction, maybe weakening out. We'll see. But we don't have any live cams in this area, so don't really have any live shot of this as of now. Again, this is in northern Ohio, just to the southwest of Cleveland. Zooming out a little bit. This is moving east-northeast as of right now. I check on Texas. I'll check real quick. I don't think there's really much happening there. The only storms that are currently happening in Texas, mostly just wind and hail, and it's all outflow driven, so nothing too crazy here. Nothing severe. We might, again, we could have some severe storms after midnight back over in North Texas, north of I-20, with whatever's left of what we're seeing in Oklahoma. But that'd be really about it. Still got a massive hailstorm, though, going right through the southeast side of Oklahoma City. There are going to be a lot of damaged vehicles up there tomorrow. Or technically tonight, but by tomorrow morning, a lot of people are going to be waking up to some damaged vehicles for sure. We have a closer up radar sight to the storm as well. It does indicate that we do have, again, some stronger rotation. No debris signature, nothing like that, but it is strong enough to the point where you might even have a wall cloud or maybe a funnel cloud with this going towards Oberlin, Ohio. Can I check the Gulf? Again, if you are wondering anything about Helene, we are going to be doing a live update on that at 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time. If you cannot make that, watch my video from like 4 hours ago. The information will be a little bit different tonight, but not much. Most of it's going to remain somewhat similar to the video today. But the live stream will be able to answer more of your questions and stuff like that. So after the stream is over, you'll automatically be redirected to that new stream that we're going to have, just so everybody can, you know, get there and click the bell or whatever. So whenever this stream's over, which it's not over, but whenever it's over, you guys will be redirected there. I know Connor Croft will be going live in like 15 minutes or so for a hurricane update as well. So if you want to go watch him, feel free. I'll put the link to his stream in the chat whenever we are near done with the stream or whenever he goes live. But yeah, aside from that, we'll have a live update at like 8:30, 9:30, that sort of time frame. And then Connor's going to be chasing Thursday. And possibly tomorrow night. I don't know if he's going live tomorrow night, but he might. All right, new radar scan coming in. We'll see what it looks like. Hey, Johnny, for becoming a member, and welcome to the Velocities. Two minutes to Connor? Did he make it sooner? No, it's 7:15. This is the latest scan. Rotation's a little bit broader on the latest scan. Like, we'll stay here as long as this looks concerning. It doesn't look too crazy right now, but keep a close eye on it. You should call your members the Velociraptors. Again, we are currently on the tornado warning in northern Ohio, southwest of Cleveland, for those that are wondering. Tornado warning ends in 30 minutes, 7:30. I don't know if it's going to last that long unless something, unless it continues to rotate. I mean, it has enough rotation now to still be warned, but after that, it's going to be kind of losing its grip a bit. Anything for Chicago? No. Not expecting anything in Chicago tonight. Is there a tornado in Denton? No. Denton, Texas is not seeing a tornado. I'm guessing you're talking about Denton, Texas. Thank you, Chris, for the $5 super chat. Connor Croft has stopped acknowledging my birthday wishes. Should I continue? I think you should continue. I mean, his birthday's in like a week, isn't it? Like a week away. How's it going, Corey? Welcome back. Will the White Sox get a win? I have no clue. They have sucked this year. Their record is like one of the worst of all time. I'm pretty sure it's pretty funny. I wouldn't want to be a White Sox fan though. I got to say that. All right, let's see what the velocities look like here. Further reminder: if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below, like the stream as well. And click the bell icon down below as well so you're notified with the latest live streams. Again, if you are not notified today for today's live stream, the reason why is because I had 3 different videos and live streams within 24 hours, so this one basically doesn't get notified. So for those wondering, it was because of like the YouTube, I guess, guidelines or whatever you want to call them. So that's why you didn't get a notification if you didn't get one. I wouldn't be scared if you're in Sandusky. Sandusky's kind of winding down, wind threat behind you, and that's about it. After this line pushes through, you're done. Should mostly just be wind, though. Velocity should update in a moment. 4 minutes behind right now. See what it looks like in a moment. Here's the latest scan. Yeah, it's broadening out quite a bit. Not really anything too crazy. We'll continue to keep a close eye on it. Real quick update on Oklahoma City. We still have that big hailstorm moving through the southeast side of Oklahoma City. Near Norman right now, just east of Moore. Continuing to push to the southeast, eventually going towards Slaughterville and Etowah. Mostly just a hail threat. Very low tornado risk, in my opinion. This is mostly just outflow-driven storm activity. But damaging winds up to 60, tennis ball-sized hail, which is now observed, by the way, are the main concerns. Any information if there's going to be a camera for me? I honestly, again, I don't know. I have no clue. I'm not sure where they're putting the cameras. If I had to guess, the cameras will probably be in a very similar area to what Debbie was, maybe a bit further south. So, yeah, I won't. I'm not going to ask. I'm guessing they'll put them up tomorrow, and we'll know tomorrow more than likely. If not, we'll know early Thursday. Vince is putting up cameras. Is he doing it right now, or is he doing that tomorrow? I thought it would happen tomorrow, but they might be putting them up a little early. Rotation still looks kind of broad on the latest scan. No CC drop. No tornado confirmed it right now. No problem, Pamela. Yeah, again, Ohio I'm not super concerned about anymore. I mean, this storm's starting to lose its grip. It had better organization before. There's many factors to that. I mean, one of them being that daylight heating's winding down. You can see it's nighttime now in Deschler, Ohio. Another reason why is it's just a lot of rain kind of out in front of it. Kind of weakens up storms like this quite a bit. So just not nearly as organized, but with that said, I still wouldn't rule out a brief tornado here before this thing's done. I think it's a low chance. And then behind all of this, we do have a line of storms that is very small, but that will produce some damaging winds for the next probably 45 minutes to an hour and a half. All right, new velocity scan coming in. We'll see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. All right, here is the latest scan. Still broad circulation approaching Oberlin. In my opinion, this looks like more of a wind threat, so not super concerned about it. But if you are on the warning, just continue to stay in your safe place. As a reminder, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. It's free to do. Hit the red button down below. Click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live next. We're probably going to be live again in like an hour and a half, so subscribe. You'll be redirected automatically after the stream's over to our new stream for the Hurricane. So just make sure to stay tuned. In addition to that, if you want to join our Discord server, the link's down below. Also follow us on Twitter at MaxVelocityWX. And also follow us on Facebook at MaxVelocityWX. I think we're about to hit 14,000 followers on Facebook, so make sure to go follow us there. All those links in the description below. Other than that, though, I mean, again, this storm, there's still a little bit of rotation, but in my opinion, it's pretty close to kind of done here, I think. So if we need to go live again, we can. It's just I don't think there's enough here for us to stay live. So with that said, we are going to go ahead and wind down the stream. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Like the stream, subscribe again if you're new here. We are going to be live again in an hour and a half. You're going to be redirected to that stream. So stay here, click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live again in an hour for the latest on Hurricane Helene, or what's going to be Hurricane Helene. I'm going to put the link in the chat to Connor Croft's stream. If you want to go watch Connor's breakdown, he's going to be live in like 10 or 15 minutes, I think. So make sure to go check him out. The link's in the chat. If you want to watch him, feel free to go watch. All right. Links in the chat. I'm not going to rate him because he's not live yet, but yeah. Aside from that, guys, appreciate you guys all watching. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to anybody that super chatted or became a member. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay safe, and we'll be back in about an hour. So we'll see you guys all again soon.